bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey y'all, welcome and happy Friday. It's your boy Chris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, a show where we basically talk about all things going on in celebrity news and pop culture. So if this is a show for you, bitch, y'all already know what to do. Y'all could drop it down in the comments because we are a live stream. So that way, we encourage everybody to jump in whatever topics we're going to be talking about. You could jump in and give your opinions on it. So before we get started, if you can, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And so we have some tea we're going to be spilling today. We got some Scream 7 news. We got to talk about this TikTok ban that's apparently about to go forth. I believe as of January 20th is when it's supposed to kick off, the day before Trump get in office. So we got to talk about that. Plus, Charlamagne and Whoopi Goldberg got into it over Joe Biden over at The View. So we're going to talk about that. Eminem's brother, Nate, we haven't really heard from him in a while, but, Eminem's mother passed away a couple of days ago. We didn't talk about it on the show, but there was more stuff that came out, so I just thought we could bring it up today. But apparently he's got a lot of hatred and mixed feelings about his mother, Debbie, and her death. And if you're an Eminem fan, Eminem had never held back when it came to spilling tea about his tumultuous relationship with his mother. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Cardi B yet again is jumping on social media to justify every little thing that she does, because that's what y'all Libras do. Y'all just don't know how to just keep it moving. So apparently she's talking about how much money she spends per month and this tour offer that she turned down, and because people are dragging her over doing a deal with Sheen and all this other mess. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, GloRilla was named the top female rapper of 2024, so we'll get into that and the list of other female rappers that are on that list. Then we're going to talk about Liam Payne and his grifting behind ex-girlfriend and how much money she was, benefiting from being in that relationship with him. Plus, Lizzo got some good news. We're going to talk about that. Plus, and then also Azealia Banks is spilling tea about apparently she done gave Drake a baloney wash, so she done hooked up with him, and we're going to talk about that. Plus, there was a fight that broke out at the Mariah Carey Christmas concert. Who the hell fights at Mariah Carey shows? But apparently, some old people did. So we're going to get into that. Plus, we got some more tea on Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. And apparently, she tried to play mediator between the both of them. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Tank just recently did an interview or a podcast. I think it was like 20 minutes that he talked about it. But apparently, he got into it talking about homophobia and the gay agenda within the Black community. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, of course, if you've seen the thumbnail, we're going to break it down because Grindr has released their little poll that they do yearly, which is their Grindr Unwrapped, which is the gay year review. So they're going to be talking about how many times people tapped, how the highest percent of bottoms, highest percentage of tops, highest percentage of sides. And then we're going to get into the celebrity aspect of it, which would be, what is it? Oh, who are the hottest men of the year? So, there's a couple of Hollywood faves, as in men, that's on that list. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Oh, and then I came across this thing Out. They did their top 40 best queer songs of 2024. I looked at the list and I got some thoughts. So we'll talk about it. And if y'all do listen to queer pop music or whatever, you could throw in some people that was like, okay, how did y'all miss them? But we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. So yeah, as we get into the show, because I saw Robert dropped a couple of comments. He went on a little rant before I even hit live on the button. Well, I press the live button. And so let me go over there and check out, see what y'all commenting about before we get into the tea. Oh, so then if y'all have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also smash the notification button. I was like, let me hit my banner. What are the people saying? Robert says, I'm not here to be shady. Yes, you are. But outside of Billie Eilish, I feel queer artists, especially men, have it harder. I was saying to my friend Billy, that is what Melissa Etheridge wasn't. Well, the funny thing is, look, women are allowed to be, it's okay for women to be queer and explore that part of themselves. And you because I worked Billie Eilish's show when she came to the garden, and the amount of young girls that was up in there talking about I can eat this girl for lunch and all this. I was like, do you know what that song's about? And these parents is bringing their kids and they all singing along. I'm like, okay. Not that I'm a prude or anything, because I feel like people should be allowed to explore their sexuality in their art and in their music and stuff. But I do feel that it is a double standard where it's like it's okay for girls to be open about their sexuality and stuff, but men, it's considered a problem. And that's why I'm really looking forward to getting to this Tank story later on, because we have somebody who is a heterosexual man that is content in who he is and speaking on this issue that we have. I just don't understand why people have a problem with LGBTQIA plus people. They're not doing nothing to you. They're not trying to convert you. Because first of all, who wants to convert anybody to be anything? You can't recruit people into being to slobbing your knob or eating your behind. Like that's not how things work. But they'll be the first ones to run around trying to throw y'all religion on other people. So there is a hypocrisy that is like it's okay. And I think it's because men believe when it comes to girl on girl stuff that they gonna get up on in it. Like there's like a whole threesome situation gonna happen. I'm like, first of all, who said that you gonna be able to sling your ding-a-ling on either of these girls? Like nobody said that you was actually gonna be a participant in the situation. Is the fact that if girls like girls, that's what they're into. But it's just like it's okay for men to fantasize about girls, whatever. But when you see man on man, it makes men insecure ones, because the men who aren't insecure in who they are don't give a damn about who this one is sleeping with and that one is sleeping with, like a Tank. But you'll have people out here who will sit up here and talk about, oh well, they tell them all we need to know about them. They probably get down, blah 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 blah, and and the main ones that be doing it, because I want to sit throw it on the men. It be the women that be up in here questioning specifically black women, because I've seen it happen a lot. Okay, he said you can't mock religion and apologize after being called out. Madonna never apologized at all. Only time. Well, the funny thing was Madonna was a Roman Catholic. I don't know. Well, she does Kabbalah and all that other stuff, but she was raised Roman Catholic. So her actually coming up in that religion and using her art to question all of what she was taught as being a Roman Catholic, that made sense. And I could resonate with that because I also was raised Roman Catholic. In regards to Lil Nas X, it felt like he was putting on an act, that there was somebody within his team that was like, oh, you want to really go out and raise controversy? Let's bring religious imagery into your stuff, because, there are other pop stars that did it before you and were able to make it work. But the fact of the matter is, the way Lil Nas X made that little excuse, it didn't feel like that Catholicism is what the way he was brought up. It felt like you were trolling for attention and it backfired. So I think that's why she never apologized or compromised her Christianity. As you said, but she had young children and they were getting threats. It was way bigger than people realized. Well, that was during the American Life era when she was talking politics and protesting against, everything that was going on. That was around 9/11, and a lot of people were not ready to hear the truth in regards to politics. Now it seems like more people are open-minded and are learning, and that's why I think that, especially with this election that we just had, so many people were riding hard for the whole Palestinian situation, which when I get into that view shit that we're going to talk about later on, it's just like, Whoopi Goldberg, you want a job with the Bidens or whatever? You want to go clean a house or do some shit? Because the way she just be running around windmilling hard for Biden, like he can do no wrong. And I'm sick of that with people who are in their own little separate cults. So on her end, it was smart for her to not jump into, well, to back off a little bit, because it wasn't about her. Like if it was just me, I'd be like, I don't give a damn. I can hire a bunch of security. I'm gonna stand on my art and my opinions. But if I have small children and I'm worried about their safety, then I will back off a little bit. That's the only thing that I would be concerned about, is I will put myself before my children to protect them. Important than being, well, you said Billy and Chaperone are being mainstream accepted. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I wish there were I wish that people were very open-minded when it came to accepting male queer pop stars. Or they had like a bigger career. Elon spent $250 million, and of course he did. And that's why he's been getting, he's been having, which I always said is weird, is like he's been having these meetings, and he's been in the room having meetings with these politicians. And I'm sitting there like, what political influence or record do you have? But I guess that's the way it is now. Now it's just anybody can just come up and in. If you got a lot of money, you too can have influence over our government. And that's why a lot of people are saying that Democrats need to stop hobnobbing with billionaires. I think the other side needs to stop doing it too. It's also important to note that Billy and Chapel have mostly a female fan base. The girls outnumber the gays. Lil Nas, Troy, Omar, and whoever else rely heavy on gay male fan base. I think also some girls like them, because I was looking at Omar Apollo. There was a video of him on YouTube and with his tour, whatever, and there was a lot of guys in the audience, and there was a lot of girls in the audience. So it also helps if you're attractive. It also helps that if you got good songs. But I agree. I feel like the girls and the gays is what'll keep you going. But the girl fan base definitely, excuse me, they're a loyal bunch. But so I agree with that. That yeah, Billy and Chapel, they do have a heavily female fan base, because when I worked Billy's show, there was a lot of girls there. Yeah, there were guys there, but the girls did outweigh the guys. So I do feel like that helps them. He said Harry Styles, on the other hand, has most. Yeah, he definitely does. Because all them shows he did at the Garden was like 2-3 years ago. And he did like 15 dates at the Garden, which is huge. And we got the banner hanging at the in on the bridge. So if you go up to the bridge in Madison Square Garden, you will see Harry Styles' flag of how many dates he did alongside Billy Joel's. So, and I remember there was a girl that came all the way up to the bridge. She was like, I just want to come up here to see Harry Styles' flag. And I started laughing. I was like, go ahead, take a picture or whatever. But I just cackled, because it was like she just came up there because she wanted to have that moment and see Harry Styles' flag of how many days he actually performed at the Garden. Look, some people just be grateful to have one day they could sell out, but 15? So, no, he said Nas X was definitely trying to replicate the same shock factor he had with Montero's single. It's different when you mock an actual god. Majority of the global population. Exactly. And you said, and God handled him. Okay. Respectfully. I say to thee respectfully, upside down you turn me. That's basically what that was. But anyway. Okay, so let's get into our first topic. Let's get some Scream 7 news, which was announced yesterday, actually, but the story's making the rounds today. So far, Deadline has revealed that Asa Germann, I think that's how you say his name, is going to be in Scream 7, because Asa, and I know Asa only from, the only way I know that name, but it was Asa Butterfield, the actor. Whatever happened to him? And Asa Buchanan from One Life to Live. That was how I knew that name. But anyway, so this young man is about to be in Scream 7. I said, let me pull that picture up, because this is the cast that we have so far that has been announced. Now, a couple of days ago, it was also announced that Celeste O'Connor, who is from Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Isabel May is going to be starring in the film also. But I believe that they confirmed that Isabel is playing Sidney Prescott's daughter. Now, I already said that Isabel is a little too old to be playing Sidney's daughter. Like, I understand y'all doing teenagers. Maybe I need to see her in motion. But apparently that's who it is, to make her see like she's looking younger or whatever, but we'll see. So they said that Germann made his debut just 40 short years ago in a short film called Two Little Boys. And he appeared 1 year later in another short film called Caviar. But he also appeared in a show on Netflix called Monsters. And I believe he's also from Gen V, which is a spinoff from The Boys. Now, me personally, I've been trying so hard to get into The Boys. I can't seem to get into it. Like, I watch a couple of episodes, then I get so irritated by the cast. I mean, the characters. Like, Homelander irritates me. I'm like, okay, you're just fucking annoying. So, after a while, I didn't even finish this current season. I think I got so disappointed with season 3 that I was just like, I was like, let me jump in with season 4, give it a chance. I watched a couple episodes. I'm like, y'all are irritating the hell out of me. So I stopped it. But I know they're about to go into their final season, and I might give it a gander again. But I'm not really big on Gen V. I'm also not that. I mean, well, I'm not into the boys. I tried watching Gen V. I remember the actor who from Gen V passed away. I forgot what he died from, but I watched a couple episodes of Gen V, couldn't get into that either. I just don't find that type of superhero type stuff my cup of tea. Although I was like, it kind of feels the same as, oh my God, what's the name of the damn superhero series with, um, John Cena? Do you really want to take it? Then that show. I like that show. I kind of feel like the humor is kind of the same, like that dark humor, but I feel like the James Gunn show executes it a whole lot better. So I like that show. But I don't particularly care for the boys. But anyway, getting back to this. Now it also says that Kevin Williamson, as we already know, is coming back is coming to direct the movie. He's never directed a Scream movie, but he's about to direct this one. And we don't have a title. Hopefully they're not going to call it Scream 7, or maybe they will call it Scream 7. And I was trying to remember which they could maybe turn one of the letters into a 7, like SCRE7M. I don't know, you could do that. Maybe that'll be a little corny, but they'll figure out how to do, or do like Scream Reborn, Scream Reboot, Scream the Remix. I don't know. So they're going to have that so that's all the news that we have on that so far. Now, I did go on social media early because I saw Scream 7 is trending. And I was like, why is Scream 7 trending? And the reason why Scream 7 is trending, because apparently people are upset about this casting. They're saying, why are they not hiring big names? Why they got some unknown randos or whatever, that's cast in this movie? And I'm like, where the hell have all of y'all been? Because first of all, whenever you have watched a Scream 7 or a Scream movie, did they ever cast people in those films that were well known, that were like A-listers? I think. Okay, so let's look back at Scream, the original Scream that came out like 25 plus years ago. Neve Campbell was from Party of Five, so she was known in the TV space. Courtney Cox may have been the biggest name, because she was from Friends, and Friends was huge. I was working out at the gym earlier, and Friends was on, and I was sitting there watching it while I'm on the rower. That was like when they had to, when Ross had to give away Marcel. So it was that episode that they had on. Marcel, the what is it, the chimp. But anyway, so that's what she was known for. Then you had Skeet Ulrich, who a lot of people didn't really know, but if you saw The Craft, then it was like Neve Campbell was in that, and so was Skeet Ulrich. Also, Matthew Lillard, he was not well known. Neither was oh my God, the actress that played Tatum. She wasn't really known either. Rose McGowan. The only one, okay, I think maybe we could go. I almost forgot. Drew Barrymore was in the original too. She was the opening kill. She was also like, maybe we could look at it as like she was more or less the big A-list, because we knew her from E.T. and then she did a couple of things. But then also, before she got on the screen, she was doing a lot of movies on network television. Remember when she played Amy Fisher? Or maybe some of y'all in the comments don't remember, but I remember they made like 4 different Amy Fisher movies, and each network had their own Amy Fisher movie. And I think that Drew Barrymore did the one that was on CBS, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so she did a couple of straight to TV movies and straight to video movies, kind of like Alyssa Milano. Them two were neck and neck and doing that back in the 90s. So at one point, yeah, she came on and she did, until she had the resurgence, she did that, and then she did Charlie's Angels and a bunch of other movies. Never Been Kissed, Josie Grossi, all that stuff. So they've never really had big names. Now, when we look at Scream 2, yeah, they did kind of, because it was more it was like they upped the Carnage Candy and stuff. So we did have semi-big names. We had Omar Epps, who else? Jada Pinkett Smith and things of that nature. So we did have like bigger names. And then David Arquette. Yeah, David Arquette was from like the indie movie world. So he wasn't a big name either. So when you look at those movies, we've never had like big names. And when you look at horror in general, what a slasher movie, horror movie that y'all watch that they have like a Zendaya or Tom Holland star in, like, because I'm thinking of this generation A-lister. But we've never had A-list names in horror movies. And the reason why we don't do that is because you don't want that plot armor to come in where it's like, oh, you know they ain't gonna die because they put them up in there, which is why I love the original Scream, because when you look at the Casey Becker character played by Drew Barrymore, here's this A-list chick, and you're like, oh, they're not gonna kill her off, and then she died in the first damn 15 minutes of the movie. So everybody gagged over there. It's like, oh well, everybody at this point is like, anything can happen at this part. I already told y'all the last two Scream movies that they did, and I do like the core four, but the plot armor irritated me. So my thing is, I'm willing to give this movie a chance, like anything. I know people still mad about Spyglass and the genocide and the Zionism and firing Melissa Barrera, and trust and believe, I'm just as pissed as y'all are. But guess what? This movie's gonna get made, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. There's people that's mad not only over that, but they're getting mad anytime somebody signs on to do this movie. And it's like, y'all do know that Hollywood is not going to stop turning on his axis because y'all mad about Palestine. And trust and believe, if you're into your politics, be mad about it. Be upset. Protest by not spending your money to see this film. But as someone who's in media, I'm going to see Scream because I'm curious and I want to be able to see, and I want to be in the moment in the zeitgeist of seeing what they're going to do with this film. Can they exceed it and save it beyond, because y'all had the core four and we were invested? What direction y'all gonna take this in regards to the characters? Are we getting like the core four, but now it's Sydney's daughter is gonna be the new core four, and with her friends, however they're gonna, well, they can't call it the core four because the other team is the core four. People would get mad if y'all did that. So when it comes in and does this thing, what's gonna circulate around this situation with Sydney's daughter and her group of friends who are going to be stalked by Ghostface, and how does Sydney play into this? So I'm curious about that. Patrick Dempsey coming on board because I'm sure they're going to have him in this movie. There's no way that you're going to have him not be in the movie and just have him go straight to Thanksgiving too, especially when both movies are produced by Spyglass. So at the end of the day, when y'all getting mad at these actors, I'm like, what are you getting mad at them for? At the end of the day, their job is to act. Their job is to star in stuff. And they're not going to be like, well, oh, we're going to dox you. We're going to do something because you're going to star in a movie over whatever politics you have going on with Spyglass. They're not getting rid of the IP. And actors have to work. Everybody doesn't have the choice of, well, I'm not going to do this movie because of this and this and this. Well, if that's the case, then you're going to be homeless and broke. So unless y'all going to get up off y'all behind and support these actors financially, like y'all going to Venmo or Zelle them money every month so that way they can pay their rent and pay their dues to SAG-AFTRA, y'all can get off my line with the BS. So stop with the fake outrage, because I'm going to keep reiterating the fact that where were y'all when Abigail came out in the damn theater? Y'all sit up here windmilling so hard for Melissa Barrera. And trust and believe, I'm with her. But she understands the nature of the business. And y'all were nowhere to be found when I went to the theater to go see this movie. So shout out to Critical Overlord, and then I'm gonna wrap this up because I saw a post that he posted at 11:50 a.m. where he was like, Scream 2 do a great job at making it personal for Sydney by offing her friends betraying her. She didn't know Roman or the Stab 3 cast, had a non-existent relationship with Jill, making those friends irrelevant as well. Does Sydney have a close relationship with Taylor's friends? I guess they're saying that's going to be her daughter's name, but the assumption is Taylor is actually a code name, but she's actually going to be named Tatum in the movie. We won't know until we see it, but that is the rumor. And they said, will they have the guts to kill Gail, Mark, etc.? Sam babysat Tara's friends in 5 and 6, so there was something there for her. So some people jumped in the comments and said Scream 7 through 9 because apparently they're thinking they're going to do a trilogy. Should do the same thing, but somehow different this time. I would kill off Taylor in 7, which makes Sydney more ruthless and more protective of her 2 children she has left. Well, actually, she only had 2 children. So, or am I wrong? When did she have? Because they said protective of the 2 children. So I could have sworn she only had 2 kids. So if they actually kill off one of her daughters, then she becomes like this overprotective mother to her other kid. I do think that would be a good idea if they actually killed off one of her daughters, because then it would just sort of like send her into a tailspin. So they said, I would kill off Taylor in 7, which makes Sydney more ruthless and more protective to her to the 2 children she has left. But I think it's 1. And then they said Gail dies in 8, Mark dies in 9, Sydney is hospitalized in 9, but lives protecting her children. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree with the kill off one of the daughters and then make one of them the final girl, and then usher that as the pass of the torch. They said pass the torch only to be thrown back in the fray because of unfair circumstances. Well, when it comes to movies, they got to figure out what they got to do to keep the franchise going. But I felt like Sydney's thing was wrapped up. And then they said the opening kill for Scream 7 needs to be Gail or Mark. It would be a great way to open the movie. And then some people saying that she's been through so much stuff throughout all the films that they need newer characters. And then they're also saying they should kill Mark halfway through, like they did Heather Langenkamp's husband in New Nightmare. Well, first of all, I'm still mad at y'all for killing off Heather Langenkamp's character in the a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. So I'm still mad at y'all over that. But that's the latest on Scream 7. So far, it looks like they're tightening up and getting everything is in gear. Everything is moving in warp speed in regards of who they're casting. Now it's only a matter of time before they start filming, which they said is in January, because we talked about it on the last show when we brought up Celeste being cast. So I say, well, this to say, excuse me, what do y'all think of this story? Are you guys, in regards to the casting and all the other theories and stuff that I brought up? I'm excited to see Scream 7. I've been following the Scream franchise since the beginning, so I'm looking forward to seeing the film. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now Beth says, hello. Hi. And Robert says, LGBTQ horror needs said Asa is the killer. I'm like, we've done boyfriends, but never the best friend as Ghostface. Time to reinvent it. The best friend and the nanny. I agree. I think it is time to switch it up, because the whole thing about the boyfriend being the killer, like, how many times are we going to do that? Like, we did it in the first one, and I'm sure in countless others. I can't think of who was the killer in the second one. Well, we had Billy's mother seeking revenge, so it was like Friday the 13th. Basically, they just took that story and then they made it about the mother in the sequel rather than in reverse, because in the sequel to Friday the 13th, Jason is when he took revenge on Alice killing his mother, which was the opening kill in part 2, if you've seen it. Part 2 of Friday the 13th is actually one of my favorites. I love part 2. Part 3, besides the 3D, is enjoyable. Part 4, the final chapter, I love that one. And part 6. I also got a soft spot for part 7, because I love the fact that they did like a little Carrie situation with Laura Part Lincoln playing, I can't remember her name in the damn movie, but she had the psychic powers, and then her, the guy that played her boyfriend in the movie was a real life homosexual. But also they were saying that there was a lot of gays that was working on that movie. I'm like, child, I would have loved to have been on that set. But I do agree that stop the whole boyfriend killer angle. Like, we need to switch it up. We need to make things interesting. I actually like the twist that they did in the opening of the last screen, even though the third act irritated the hell out of me. I told y'all I figured out who the killer was the moment that they killed the therapist. When they killed Sam's therapist, I was like, okay, I know who the damn killer is. Like, I figured it out then. So but then I didn't realize they were going to do the twist with the 3, but I figured out the 2. I didn't figure out that it was the daughter. It was a part of it, but I figured out it was, the other 2. So it was pretty much like, so yeah, I don't want them to kind of, y'all need to not make it predictable, but I did love the opening sequence when you had the dude from Spider-Man that killed Samara Weaving's character in the beginning, and then they took the mask when they revealed the killer. I would love for them to have done that, because then it could have been like, you know what? You show the killer. The killer is actually amongst the friends. Everybody's so focused on this one, they're not realizing that, you know what? There's other twists and turns we could have went into. He's getting help, and who's the other killer? Because we always know, like in Scream, there's always more than one killer. The only time we had one killer was Scream 3 when it was Roman. But other than that, we've always had we've always had killers rather than a killer. Mark and K was the salt and pepper. I mean, with the salt and pepper gives me Dermot teas. They probably could. Well, look, I always find it funny because over the years, people used to always get Dylan McDermott and Dermot Mulroney confused. But I'm like, yeah, because their names are kind of similar. So I remember that was always a thing with them. Like you said, Scream 4 was stylized as Scream. Well, and I actually like how that looked because that looked pretty cool if you did like Scream as that. When you said outside Drew Barrymore and Courtney Kyle, Scream was unknown. That's how they save money. The bigger the actor, the bigger. Exactly. And people don't realize that, like, slasher films, horror in general, but mainly slasher films have always been low budget. When you start casting big names, somebody who's gets a $10 million that has a that their ask is a $10 million salary, and your budget is a $20 million horror film or a $15 million horror film, or say like Terrifier. If you do Terrifier 4, which Terrifier 3 was a $2 million budget. Now, if you up it to $5 million and you pick like some big A-lister like an Ariana Grande and you put her in there who probably commands somewhere between $5 to $10 million, there goes your budget. Like, what do y'all do? What do y'all talk about? This goes to show, like, people who talk all this stuff on social media, I don't know what the hell they talking about, or they're just grasping at straws because they want to just be trolls. And it's like, you know what? If you don't want to go see the movie, then just don't go see it. But Screamer's going to get made, whether y'all fold your arms and pout or not. Drew and Alyssa were the queen of child. Who you telling? Because I used to watch those movies. I used to watch a lot of those softcore Skinamax type movies when I was growing up. I used to sneak and watch those. And yeah, that Poison Ivy franchise, child. And then the times like, oh, I'm seeing Alyssa Milano boobs on camera. And look, let's not forget the time that Drew Barrymore got on the desk and flashed her titties to David Letterman. That was iconic. In my opinion, they'll be watching the film. I doubt they'll protest it. People all talk ish when they're on social media because trust and believe they're going to sneak and watch it. And then they're going to, well, I guess we can call it, they're going to hate watch it. That's basically what's going to happen because Melissa supporters didn't go see Abigail or her other horror films. Cool, you protest, but failed when it came to support. And that's why I said, if y'all actually mean what y'all say, then y'all would have went to the movies to support Abigail and you could have been like, yeah, we showing y'all. And I just heard that, Melissa Barrera just dropped her, and I don't remember. Is it her agency, her management? She dropped somebody this week. He said, "I hate to tell Gen Z, I'm sure the majority supports Israel, where Palestine is just Gen Z." Yeah, I said Gail is the media. They're not killing Gail because a bitch slap to Gail from Tatum would be full circle. Well, here's the thing. And that's why I always said, like, you know what, Gail would be the perfect glue. And she could always have a part. Even if y'all got rid of Sydney down the road, Gail could always have a part in that franchise because she is media. When you're part of media, a story has to be told. Somebody has to report it. So her being a part of that franchise and her still working in the media space, she always will have a connection to the franchise and always can come up in there and have a part. It'd be like the same thing if you had somebody who was a cop and it was happening in their town and then they were just dealing with the case. They could always have a part until you kill them off. But I say, like, yeah, Gail needs the plot armor, although I did love her chase sequence in that last movie. Well, I forgot to turn off my banner chair. But anyway. Okay, so let's get into this TikTok story because apparently we're about to lose TikTok and hopefully we don't because, it's going to affect millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, because not only do people is it safe to say that a lot of people do rely on TikTok for their information? I do feel like while there is like anything, you can go on social media and you just have to waft through this, bob and weave through the cesspool of information and misinformation. There are some people that really are up there doing the Lord's work and giving people the real information in regards of what's going on in politics, especially when it comes down to, since mainstream media don't want to do it. MSNBC, who sidebar, y'all need to fire that big head ass Joe Scarborough and his even ding ding of a wife, Mika, and all the grifting and ass kissing and fakeness that they doing over on MSNBC, apologizing for that guy that I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that Trump is trying to put into office, and they're talking about he's a drunk and he made a joke, and they're getting on MSNBC to apologize for what someone said on, like, what are y'all doing? And then don't get me wrong, not even that long ago, how they went, oh, we went down to Mar-a-Lago because we want to go and have conversation. We want to see what he's like. Are people forgetting that Trump was president before? This is not his first term. This is his second term. Yeah, he didn't win this thing because Biden is the president. However, this is technically his second term. Although, sidebar, I've heard that he's talking about running in 2028. I don't know how you plan on doing that because presidents are only allowed 2 terms. I think there was a situation with Richard Nixon or whatever that they had to put that in place in regards of you can't run more than twice. Which, yes, you can't be like, well, technically I lost the last race, so this is technically not my second term. No, because a lot of y'all think that this is guaranteed that y'all going to be president back to back. I'm like, who said that y'all supposed to just automatically do an 8-year situation? Nobody, there's no guarantee in that when you're a president or any kind of politician that automatically you're supposed to just be given an extra 4 years on top of the 4 that you're currently doing. Nobody said that. I think that's what Biden thought, and that's why his old ass lost. But so now there's been this thing ongoing with TikTok and that Biden, who I'm in no shade, but I feel like he's going to go down as one of the worst presidents in history. I don't know why people sit up here talking about he's this amazing man. He's not. And let's not also forget that wasn't he accused of essaying? What happened to those stories? Why is nobody talking about that? And that's not misinformation. Y'all could Google Schmoogle. There's stories out there about him. So he went and signed this thing. And I'm like, why did he sign it? It's because you're, someone who helped fund billions of our tax-paying dollars to help basically blow up majority of Gaza and kill hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. So that way a bunch of damn Israelites could colonize land that don't belong to them. Now, people in this thing gonna get mad, go argue with your mammy. I don't care. It's like we don't condone Zionism, not on this show. So he went and signed this thing because I think what he was getting pissed off about, and I've heard bitter queens like ugly ass Perez Hilton jump on the line and talk about that. Yeah, they need to get rid of Perez. They need to get rid of TikTok because they spread all kinds of misinformation. I don't know, because when I'm on my social media, I don't follow a lot of people that give misinformation. And if people are giving misinformation, I know to Google Schmoogle and I can find out what the information is. So I'm not just listening to just rando saying something. I think he's real bitter because Twitter has banned his channel so many damn times. So he has to keep creating TikToks. So that's where that comes from. You just a bitter ass queen. That's why he mad. But I wish people would be upfront and honest about that rather than spreading misinformation, which is what that old tired ass heifer likes to do on his show, which I don't follow his ass no more. Because once he came out there recently with that they them crap for attention, I was like, I'm done with this old tired ass. Ain't had a piece of ass in a decade. He'll tell you. But anyway, so to get to this, because I was like, now I'm going on this tangent while I'm just reading people on the side. Let's get to this story. So a federal appeals court has upheld a law that will ban TikTok in the U.S. in the coming months if its Chinese parent company doesn't sell its stake in the app, dealing another setback to the widely popular video sharing service in its battle with the federal government. So they're basically saying that the First Amendment exists to protect free speech in the United States. And this is what the courts said, the court's opinion, which was written by Judge Douglas Ginsburg. Here, the government acted solely to protect the freedom from a foreign adversary nation and to limit what adversaries' ability to gather data on people in the United States. Now, here's the thing. If we're doing this, right, does this open a Pandora's box for another foreign entity trying to come in and infiltrate our political situation or infiltrate our stuff? Can we start going with Twitter? Because, that old genocide Clyde over there, speaking of ugly, what's he doing? Where he's influencing campaigns by funneling over $200 million into spreading misinformation about our policies or whatever the case is. And you're not even an American citizen. Now, y'all want to talk about deport people, but I guess you're not going to deport him because they're a billionaire, right? So while we got all this going on with TikTok, is Twitter next? Because they need to be. But y'all want to go after the Chinese, but not the, genocide Clyde, a.k.a. Elon Musk. So now TikTok and ByteDance, another plaintiff in the lawsuit, are expected to appeal to the Supreme Court, though it's unclear whether the court will take up the case. So it says that the Supreme Court was an established historical record of protecting Americans' right to free speech, and we expect they will do just that on this important constitutional issue. And this is what TikTok spokesperson Michael Hughes said in a statement. And he also said, unfortunately, the TikTok ban was conceived and pushed through based on inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information, resulting in outright censorship to the American people. Unless stopped, he argued, the state will silence the voices of over 170 million Americans here in the U.S. and around the world on January 19, 2025. So when he's going on saying, because Michael Hughes is saying, because, he reps TikTok, I want to know what the inaccurate, flawed, or hypothetical information is, resulting in outright censorship. Now, I'm wondering if this has to do with, like I said, that TikTok was the only platform, because I was paying attention, that was giving people actual information on what was going on with the genocide of Palestinians. You wasn't getting it from the MSNBCs and the CNNs and all them other places, which is why people have abandoned the mainstream news channels in droves, because they're not going to give you the information. We know who's running media. So when you got a bunch of Zionists out here spreading misinformation or threatening to fire people or firing people for giving the information, when it's like, we see what y'all are doing, but you're giving our money to giving bombs to the Ukraine, and you're giving money to blow up Palestinians. I'm seeing the videos on Instagram of parents carrying their dead children. I saw one where a little boy had his head blown open, and the skin is hanging from the front of his face, while the father is running down the street carrying his own kid. This is stuff that I'm seeing on social media. Not saying it's a bad thing, because I think we need to see it so that way we understand the overall magnitude of what our country is participating in. These politicians who are owned by these billionaires. And I'm sure that things are gonna get worse once we get 47 in office. So I'm not expecting, like, so while I'm going in on Biden, I'm sure like Trump is gonna be no damn different. So now they said that the Supreme Court has established historical record of protecting Americans' right to free speech. Unfortunately, the TikTok ban was now they said through the case of squarely in the court system, it also is possible that two companies might be thrown some sort of a lifeline by President-elect Donald Trump, who tried to ban TikTok during his first term. And then he did say recently, from what I heard, that he's considering reversing that. And now this will be the one time I will be Team Trump in this sense. Because Biden put something in office, you know how he just don't like anything when he wants to be spiteful. I need you to use your spitefulness on this part. Like, use your weaponry for good for once. So it's like when he's trying to ban TikTok for whatever reason, but I had my theories and I told you them, that he'll flip it and reverse it, be like, you know what, just because he banned it, I want to unban it, just so that way I can get the people something. Because I do feel like what people need to realize, like, whatever this misinformation is, there are a lot of people who make a living, myself included, posting videos on TikTok. I have a huge following on TikTok. A lot of my videos get comments, get likes, get all those things. And for me to just not have that anymore, it's like I got to start from square one and figure out another source of income to have coming in, which is, now we got Blue Sky that's on the rise, and I understand it's a relatively new platform or app, whatever you want to call it, social media platform that we have that people are jumping over to because they're sick of the vitriol over there from Genocide Clyde. So now we're over here on Blue Sky, but Blue Sky is still relatively new and they haven't really. I mean, you can post videos on there, but everything has to be under 60 seconds. Or it has to be can't be no longer than 60 seconds. So it's like, who's doing videos that's gonna be like 60 seconds long? I know there's some people that's really good at getting stuff in that short, but I don't feel like you get all the information of being a 60-second video. So I don't like the idea. So I'm hoping sooner or later that since Blue Sky is kind of like an alternative to Twitter, that they will kind of embody some of the same characteristics. We could do live streams. We can do all these other things where we can try to make a living from it. So I hope that they can reconsider with this situation because yeah, there are people that make a living on TikTok as influencers or selling products or with the way. And I love TikTok because it's a way you can put the green screen in, you can edit, you can do all kinds of crazy things with TikTok, and it makes it easier for people to just get in there and put a little something, something together. So I actually like TikTok on that part. So hopefully they do, change it over. And if you want them, the Chinese, to sell their share, who do you want to buy it? Because we damn sure don't want Elon Musk trying to put his money up in there. So basically what they keep saying is that the reason why the US is so concerned about TikTok because they collect vast swaths of user data, including sensitive information on viewing habits that could fall into the hands of the Chinese government through coercion. Officials have also warned the proprietary algorithm that fuels what users see on the app is vulnerable in manipulation by Chinese authorities who can use it to shape content on the platform in a way that's difficult to detect, a concern mirrored by the European Union on Friday as it scrutinizes the video sharing app's role in the Romanian elections. But here's the thing, don't they all do that? Don't all the apps pretty much just based off of what we see, they push out things based off of our algorithms? They all do it. So let's not just sit up here and act like TikTok is the only one, the anomaly that collects data, including our information on what the things that we're watching. Because I could sit up here and have a conversation about eggs. All of a sudden, I'm getting ads. I'm gonna just use that as an example. All of a sudden, I'm getting flooded with ads from Meta or other things. There was something I was looking at. I can't remember what it was, but it was something I was looking at. All of a sudden, I'm seeing these ad after ad after ad. Okay. Like, why all of a sudden I'm getting this? Or if I happen to look at something that is like a pair of sneakers or a shirt, like a pair of pants or whatever I want to buy, then all of a sudden I'm getting like the ads and things. Or if I'm looking at workout stuff, I'm getting flooded with that. So they all do it. So let's not sit up here and act like TikTok is the only one that's the anomaly. I want to know what's the real tea in regards to why they doing what they doing. So, to wrap all this up, it says that attorneys for the two companies have claimed it's impossible to divest the platform commercially and technologically. They also say that any sale of TikTok without the coveted algorithm, the platform's secret sauce that Chinese authorities will likely block under any divestiture plan, would turn the US version of TikTok into an island disconnected from other global content. And that's the thing too, is like TikTok is a way that we connect with people from all over the world. So if I want to see something from Brazil or the Philippines or Thailand or Australia or whatever the case is, or France, why can't I see those things? So you only want American stuff? Like, please. This is why a lot of people in our country are so stupid now, because it's like we don't really mingle or interlink with things outside of the world. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like using social media, because I can have conversations with people from other countries or other people connect to my stuff from parts of the world. Especially if I'm doing this show. You think only American people watch the Chris Avalon Unfiltered? No. We have people in here that's from the UK and other parts of the world. So why would you only want to have things just American only? I mean, that's kind of like what Trump's administration was trying to push anyway, with all that American this, American that. Child, we ain't had nothing American flowing in and out of here for decades because everything is outsourced to other countries because it's cheaper. So, but they also said still some investors, including Trump's former Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, And billionaire Frank McCourt have expressed interest. No, here we go. So now we got Trump people want to buy this stuff. Both men said earlier in the year that they were launching a consortium to purchase TikTok U.S. business. This week, a spokesperson for McCourt's Project Liberty initiative, which aims to protect online privacy, said unnamed participants in their bid have made informal commitments of more than $20 billion in capital. So hopefully they work it out. The right people, if they do end up selling, the right people end up, you know, it ends up in the right hands, I should say. And I don't like this whole idea of Trump's people because he already got Truth Social. If you want to go over there and you want to spread whatever it is you want to spread, you do it on your platform. You were allowed to do that. It wasn't an issue. Nobody complained when Trump started Truth Social. But it's funny how, like, when people decided to leave TikTok because it was toxic, not TikTok, when they decided to leave Twitter, it's the other T, and went over to Blue Sky, then you had the incels that were all Trump and all that stuff. Let's go jump over to Blue Sky because we want to harass you. It's like we don't give a damn about y'all. We're not harassing y'all. Leave us alone. You stay over there. Y'all wanted your own little platform where you could say and do whatever, and we gave it to y'all. So now we want a platform. We don't want to have to deal with this, the negativity and that nasty energy and vitriol. But y'all can't. But you realize you don't exist without, or you don't have a sense of purpose without being combative with other people and arguing and fighting. So some people get off on that. They bussies pucker when they fight in an argument. I don't have the wherewithal with that energy because I know if I get taken there, I see red, I black out, and I'm gonna end up in jail again. So I say all that to say for fighting. What do y'all think of this story in regards of TikTok and all the information? It was a long article from the Associated Press. If y'all want to read it, you can definitely check it out on my website. I did link it, or you could go and look it up on AP, or just Google TikTok. But I'm like, child, I'm not going to read all that. We be here all damn day. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Ooh. Okay, so now, you said Twitter banned news. Same with Meta. If they take TikTok down, they only have YouTube and Blue Sky. Yep, and that's where because they trying so hard to just block media and keep people from getting the information out. It's like y'all forgot about the First Amendment. Like y'all trying to just change my Constitution. Cleveland's in the building. So my hi everyone. How you doing? Perez was banned. That's why. Exactly. That is why he's unhappy because he keeps creating TikToks. And then after a while, probably somebody shady, and I live for y'all, whoever keeps doing it. Somebody shady keeps going over there and removing his. I've had the same damn TikTok from the beginning. I don't got no issues, but that's probably because I don't be going around being nasty and mean, and my whole career wasn't built around being nasty and mean about other celebrities. I wasn't putting cum stains on people's face. I wasn't calling people, fire crotch and all this other mess or doing what he did to Brittany. So even though he says he changed, a lot of people still got that. Oh, we don't like this bitch. So we just gonna do whatever. We gonna report every time he come out with something. And you gotta create like 6, 7 damn TikToks. How do you even do that? Because I always feel like whenever you try to create a platform, you gotta put in a whole new email and a whole new. I'm like, who got time to be creating that? I hated having to do that with Instagram because they got rid of my Instagram, which is why I don't really post. Well, I got, y'all know the latest one, Chris I one. But when my last couple of Instagrams, and it's like I gotta create a whole new email and all the other stuff or whatever, and then just so I can have it. Like it's so annoying having to do that. So how do you do that with? I guess you do the same with TikTok. Nobody have no time for that. You said watch Trump ban. He ain't touching ban. He ain't touching. He better not touch Blue Sky. So they're trying to control everything, so we're misled. And absolutely, that's why they want to buy it, is because it's like, look, if you want to mislead people, you could do that. Do it on Twitter. You already been doing it. That's why people are, believe the crap that they was believing. Ooh. During this whole campaign, especially the misinformation that was spreading about Tim Walz. And and then Joe Rogan out here spreading the misinformation that he's been doing. It's like if you want to spread misinformation, there are platforms for that. We know it's Truth Social and Twitter. Y'all can have that. But if we want to sit up here and have the freedom of the press where we can get the right information given to us, and we're getting Cause if you know to follow the right people, then those are the ones that I'll stick with. That's why I like that Blue Sky is very much like that. And then you hear people on those ditzy broads over on The View, which that's the next topic we're about to get into. So, well, if we have separate websites and apps and things, then how do we come to a common ground? We can have a conversation with people. Here's the thing. We've always tried to be open and have conversations with Trump supporters or people who believe in whatever that is. But when you're so far in the cult, and I'm trying to give you the right information, but you want to be argumentative and you want to be all aggressive and nasty or whatever the case is, I'm not talking to you. Like, if you're willing to sit and listen and learn and have a valid opinion about something, and we could debate in that way, because once upon a time I used to debate when I was growing up in school. So, and we were, and when you would debate, it was a respectful thing. Now it's just like, if I say anything, oh, you're a this or you're a that, you want a name call, you want to do, because it's like that's the low level thought process that I gotta go down into the dirt and discredit you and call you a name because there may be some truth in what you're saying, but I don't want to believe it. So the only thing I can combat at you with is being nasty and rude. And at that point, I'm not going to go back and forth, because if I slap the shit out of you, then I'm going to end up in jail. And I can't be putting my hands on people whenever people piss me off. So I can't be out here doing that in these streets. But then they're talking about, well, how can we have these things? Look, we try to do it. And then when you have billionaires that are who are trying to control the narrative and say the things that I want people to believe is only that's going to get pushed through, and those who have an opposing opinion, I'm going to ban them, or I'm going to make it hard for their stuff to get out there, because I need these people to believe this so that way I can continue to financially profit and grift off of spreading this information. Then okay, we're just gonna have to have separate things. Now, if people want to come over and they want to unplug from the Matrix and they want to come over to Blue Sky and get the real tea, then y'all can come over there and do that. But if you want to still be in the cult, then you stick with True Social, you stick with the Twitter. But anyway, and then hey, Nasty Crunchy, you say at a certain point, don't these apps ban IPs? I was like, IP, oh yeah, intellectual property. Depending on what it is. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people's livelihoods gonna be at stake, and y'all definitely gonna see that unemployment rate skyrocket. Okay, so I don't know. I have to look into that. You said like IP address. There, that's what I was saying. Like, it depends on what the IP is. But we'll see how that whole TikTok situation goes down when January 20th comes. But anyway, let's talk about this recent episode of The View where Charlamagne, from the Breakfast Club came on, and he and Miss Whoopi Goldberg ended up getting into it while they were on the thing. I will play out a clip, but I can't because it's ABC, and y'all already know these major networks love coming for me. So anytime you post stuff up on the situation, they're quick to just be like copyright, and then you can't monetize your show, and then I have to edit it out and all this other stuff. So apparently things got heated on The View between moderator Whoopi Goldberg and guest Charlamagne the God when they talked about Joe Biden pardoning his son Hunter. Now, Charlamagne appeared on the December 4th episode of The View. Shout out to Entertainment Weekly for this story, and got into a debate with co-host Whoopi Goldberg after he claimed that Joe Biden lied when it came to pardoning his son Hunter Biden over felony gun and tax convictions. The president had previously vowed to withhold such clemency from his own family. And let's also not forget that Alyssa Farah Griffin got in trouble also with Whoopi the day before, because during Hot Topics, she said the same thing. And Whoopi got mad, dang, stop calling it a lie. It's not a lie. I mean, kind of technically it is. But I just wish you would have just owned up to the reason why, well, why did you change your mind? So, okay, let's not call it a lie. Let's say he changed his mind. I would say be honest as to why you said you was going to change your mind. Maybe you changed your mind because you already knew, like, Trump was going to come in, be petty, as he said he likes to do. He's very tit for tat. He's very vindictive. And anybody who goes against him and doesn't kiss his behind and bend the knee, which is why you saw Joe Scarborough, long head ass, and his ditzy ass wife Mika ran down to Mar-a-Lago because they know that the media is, there's going to be a firing squad, mentally speaking, not a literal one, that's going to be coming after any type of media that opposes whatever Trump got coming once he gets into office on January 21st. So now you got, all this other stuff coming up. And I love the fact that Charlamagne came on the show and is not afraid to say the things that he wants to say. But a lot of times out of 10, these women ain't willing to hear it, especially Whoopi and Joy, who are so far into the whole Democratic cult and got their head so far up Biden ass, they could tell you what he ate 3 days ago. So she said, and she does this a lot, which pisses me off when people happen to me. I'm going to stop you for a second, only because you don't know that it was a lie. Well, that's his opinion. So she said, you don't know if it was a lie. If someone goes and says something and then changes up on it after they've been asked repeatedly a multitude of times, are you going to pardon your son? And you say no, then all of a sudden, days before not even days, a month and some change. Well, I guess we could say a month. A month before you about to lose your position as the 46th president, you change your mind. That's kind of a lie. When you're not telling the truth, it's a lie. And let's not also forget that every president lies. So, I mean, not as much as Trump has, but nevertheless, Joe Biden lies. And in this case, I will say it's a lie. But anyway. So go back to this. So I'm going to stop you for a second only because you don't know that it was a lie. She says, we don't know why he changed his mind. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. At some point, you get to this place where you just go, so I'm just going to go follow the straight and narrow always because that's what's expected of Democrats. So Charlamagne fired back and said, but that's their fault. They're the ones that go out there and stand on this moral high ground. They don't have to do that. So then she went and said, so we're mad at him because he changed his mind? This is what she asked Charlamagne, who responded, I'm not mad at him for pardoning Joe Biden. You sound like you're mad. Okay, Charlamagne, you better read. And they said, can you imagine, can you explain to me why is it that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls? This is what Goldberg later asked after co-host Alyssa Farrah Griffin jumped into the conversation and noted that President Biden had previously made a point to stand by institutions of integrity before pardoning Biden. Then nobody has criticized Donald Trump more than me and Charlamagne the God, Griffin told Goldberg in defense. She goes, yeah, I've criticized him more. Well, child, you don't really talk on the show. You just sit there, look like you bored out your damn mind, and then tell everybody to go to break. I watch The View. So you sit up there talking about you criticize him. You don't even say his name. You say, you know who. You read the teleprompter. You ask the people on the panel what they think. You'll give a little, a little something, something, and then you're like, and then they play you off, and you get mad because by the time you get your word in, they like you pretty much got like 30 seconds to get your piece in, and then they got to go to a damn commercial break and sell tampons and fucking Metamucil. So that's what they do over there at The View. That's basically the summing it all up. And then after that, it's always Sonny got to give a damn illegal note. So-and-so denied any wrongdoing. I'm like, okay, that's a legal note. That's literally somebody just wrote some shit into the damn teleprompter. That's a freaking sentence. You said it. It sounds stupid. It was unnecessary. It's cutting into time of the show. And then y'all go to a break, like I said, to sell your damn Metamucil and your tampons. And then they want to do a damn view your deal. So that's basically their show. They've done more time just talking about Trump and view your damn deals than doing a damn show. And 9 times out of 10, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about on that show. I just think I watch this. I think I hate watch The View more than anything because it just irritates me that y'all have this platform where you just made it so when you've heavily focused it into politics, but a lot of y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about when it comes to politics. Which probably part is was probably why them any tickets ain't selling. But you ain't hear that from me. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, so I don't know. I had to say that. I had to get that in my before I forget it. Because a lot of times I gotta interject with stuff because based on my emotions and my feelings, because I'm usually logical. I just want to get that out before I move on because I will forget what I'm going to say. And so let's keep it moving. So then Charlamagne had his own question for Goldberg. He said, why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong? You don't think Joe Biden is wrong? And then when Goldberg says she didn't, Charlamagne replied with, he said that was ridiculous. And she goes, no, you're ridiculous. He said, I didn't say you were ridiculous. I would never say that. Well, he said Miss Goldberg. Okay, I was like, okay, be out of now. If you really want to be like, you should have said Miss Johnson because that's her government name. You know, Whoopi Goldberg's real name is Karen Johnson. It's funny how I remember that. The stage name is Whoopi Goldberg. But anyway, so then yeah, he said that I didn't say you were ridiculous, Miss Goldberg. I would never say that. I just think that's ridiculous. The radio host said before Goldberg asked him to come over here and give me a kiss because I guess they realized, oh, heated situation. Let's patch things up and kiss and make it better because you know the media is gonna run with it and make it a mountain out of a molehill. They're gonna, turn it into something else, which I don't think that's what I'm not gonna do that here. Maybe other people have done it, but we're gonna unpack basically what they were going back and forth and saying. So, this is not the first time that Charlamagne has been on the show and brought tense encounters when he came on. So then also in May of this year, he basically called out the program's host for pressuring interview guests to endorse politicians on the show. Sunny Hostin criticized Charlamagne at the time for not publicly endorsing Biden. And I will say this, that absolutely, I agree with him. That pissed me off because during this, when Kamala was running and all the other stuff, and even Biden was talking about he was running when, he clearly said that this was the only term he was going to do, and they were going to groom the next person to come in and be the 47th president. He got in, he was feeling himself, he was feeling his oats, because I got to use my homosexual terms. He was feeling his oats and was like, you know what? So I did say I was going to be a one-term president. But now I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Okay, Beyonce. He was feeling himself. So then he came in. He wanted to just do whatever. And he was going to try to run again. Because now Trump told him he run. Oh, I beat him once. I can beat him again. Not realizing that we started to notice the decline in his cognitiveness. The dementia allegedly was sinking in. That's what he's doing in his debate. What the hell are you saying? Like, I don't want to be shady in that way because Trump did cackle. I did cackle when he said it. I was like, I don't know what he said. I don't even think he knows. But that is such a New York shady thing to say because I say stuff like that too. So I did laugh, and it's just sort of like y'all literally saw him up there was like he was a mess, and then that's when we saw the infighting within the Democratic Party when Nancy Pelosi and all of them were saying, well, this is not a good idea that we have him still trying to run. Y'all know this man is not capable of being the 47th president. He can barely, handle being 46, especially when he's getting damn near towards the finish line. So it literally was, we got the fat, out of shape man, the lunatic, half-past crazy Trump, versus Weekend at Bernie's. That's what we got. And if you see Weekend at Bernie's, you know what I'm referring to. So there was that. But I also agree with what Charlamagne said, not only with the fact of, yes, I did not like when so who are you guys voting for? You're voting for Kamala, right? You're voting for, like, what are y'all doing? It's none of your damn business who I'm voting for. When I go in that voting booth, if I decide to vote for Biden, Trump, Kamala, excuse me, who was running Jill Stein, Pennywise the Clown. If I want to vote for Pennywise the damn clown and say and write, we all float down here on my damn paper, that's none of your damn business. If I want to put Jesus Christ's name up in there because I don't like none of these damn candidates, that's what I'm gonna vote for. You don't get to tell people and have them publicly come online and do that. They try to do that with Usher. And then at one point, I think Whoopi was trying to defend him, like get him out of that, because Joy was the one that was pushing that. She pissed me off with that. She another damn Zionist. I used to like her, but now she give me Zionist tease. She's the one that I feel like goes harder on that than any of them up there. And she ain't even Jewish. She's an Italian woman. But because who she was married to, her first husband, She be giving Zionist teas. But to get back to this situation, yeah, they tried to do that with Usher. Then later on, Usher came out during the campaign and was like, oh, he's endorsing Kamala Harris. But people should not be strong armed to having to publicly come out and say who they voting for, Republican or Democrat. Just like I don't want to know who celebrities is voting for. I don't want to know about Amber Rose and all them other ones either. So it needs to be equal on both sides. But I also agree that what Charlamagne said why do y'all have a hard time admitting when Democrats are wrong? Because they won't do it on the show. When y'all sit up there and talk about, oh, so and so had a flawless campaign. First of all, there's no such thing as a flawless campaign. And quiet as it's kept, your show was the one that cost Kamala the election. When Sunny Hoster got her big old head ass up there on that damn panel and asked her, so what would you do differently from Joe Biden's campaign? And then there go Kamala, a humming. Oh, I wouldn't do anything different. So she couldn't disassociate herself from being loyal to Biden. I understand that he put Joe behind in this position of VP. And you know what? I'm grateful for, all my hard work, whatever is being acknowledged, and you put me into this position of VP. But just like y'all hit 10 walls after certain things he was saying, and y'all started to get a little spooked and nervous because he started calling Republicans weird, and then y'all started to hide him towards the end, which was stupid because y'all listening to these idiots that was working in your campaign, and those were Biden's people. So y'all sabotaged her getting that campaign. There was a lot of things. Y'all sitting there talking about, oh, they were neck and neck in regards to the polls. No, the hell they weren't. She was nowhere near neck and neck with him. It was a mess. Y'all were lied to. So when you got all these things spilling misinformation on, with polls and things on MSNBC and all these other liberal media channels, and then when it comes down to the actual, all the red coming in and everybody's shocked, like, what happened? Y'all knew what happened, but y'all sat up there and lied, and now y'all want to play dumb when the reality hits. People don't trust both sides, but they rather go with the felon, unfortunately, the white billionaire felon, over a woman of color who is more qualified on paper, and yes, qualified because of she actually came up in the trenches. However, America is, there's a lot of racist people in this country, and let's call it what it is. They don't want a woman. I think we will get a woman president, but like I said, I do believe she will be a conservative Republican that we will get as a president before we get a liberal. And they don't want a black woman. You think people want to listen to a black, or anybody white want a black woman telling them to do what to do? No, they don't. So there is a reality. There is truth to that, but that is not the only reason why she lost. She didn't have anything to stand on. You started to have a good campaign in the beginning, but then, oh no, you can't say this and you can't do this and this is too much and no. And then y'all started to back off because y'all get so scared every time something comes out. If you're gonna say something, and I think this is to bring it all around of what Charlamagne was saying. If you're gonna say you're gonna do something, stand on it. If you lie, it. But then they go and sit up here and say that, you know what? Well, how are you any different than them over there? Well, if this is the game we playing, then yes, I'm gonna play that game too. And on all sides, Republican and Democrats, abuse their power when they get in office as the president. So this is not a new thing. It's just now y'all are just paying attention more because we get so caught up in the sensationalism of celebrity. So that's what it is now. Now everybody paying attention because there's social media. Back in the day when we didn't have all that, you could hide behind and do all your little sneaky things and nobody was paying attention. But I do, and also to wrap this up, I do agree with the fact that, yeah, why is it that Democrats are held to a certain standard? Why is it that they always have as Michelle Obama, stated, when they go low, we go high? And I do agree with Charlamagne that it is their fault because they are the ones that go out and stand on this moral high ground, which I also believe hurt their campaign. Because when Kamala, oh, he's evil and we're the good guys. He's bad. We're good. Vote for us. Democracy is in danger. All that. But to an extent, it will be. But for the most part, it's like, but y'all hands ain't necessarily clean either. And that's probably one of the reasons why they're trying to ban TikTok, because they don't want that stuff to get out. And especially all the blood I see dripping off by the hands in regards of, all that Palestinian blood. He can't seem to wash off his hands. So when it comes down to it, I don't get my political information from The View, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they have a certain thing that they're pushing, an agenda that is brought upon by the overlords that run the network, ABC, and the producers that work on the show. They get their information off cue cards, or because Sonny can't seem to just give natural whatever without having to read stuff. Even when she be interviewing people, like I'm sitting there watching her interview Matt Rife. Why are you reading off the damn card? Y'all can't come up with like stuff off your head, or just look at what's the general consensus of the question and just freestyle it. Well, I guess I can do that. Like I write a bullet point and I just like freestyle it. But she just, you get those bookworms where it's just like they can only go by what's on the page, and then they have to just follow it to a T because they can't think on their own outside of the information that they're being given by their fact checkers and their producers, or whatever the case is. So I really wish that they would go more beyond a Charlamagne and bring more interesting people. Like I would love to see like some of these because Democrats trying to blame liberals for why they lost. So I would love to see like them to invite more progressives and stuff on the show to really give the tea and really give them an opportunity to debate. But that'll never happen. They're interested in just keeping those corporate Democrat types on there, or somebody who can give a little something to push the button or the ratings to jump up a little bit, like a Stephen A. Smith or a Charlamagne. Those are like the safe ones that they'll stick with. Even though Charlamagne is unpredictable, and I like that about him. And then you have Stephen A. Smith that'll come out and say some things. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to Charlamagne and Whoopi Goldberg getting into it over the whole Hunter Biden thing? I do believe that, you know what? Well, I mean, Trump has pardoned far worse people. He's pardoned a lot of people during his first term, and I'm sure he's going to pardon a lot more when he gets in there for his second term. But it is the fault of the Democrats that y'all hold yourselves to this certain standard of this moral high ground, or whatever. So I feel like this is the time in the next 4 years y'all need to remix and change up your narrative and figure out how y'all can infiltrate the compound and come in and really get people back on your side in regards of like what our future is going to be or whatever. Because the Democrats, y'all are a mess right now, and if y'all don't straighten up and fly right, y'all gonna keep losing. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. But anyway, we got a lot of comments. Oh, excuse me. Well, I don't like that broad. You say Anna basically shading former TYT staff the way Mike spilled tea that Jenk and Anna are mad that they're not the only progressive voice. Are they really progressive though? Because I feel like they're no different than Joe and Mika. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, whatever the hell. I know her father was a journalist. If he's dead, he's probably rolling over his grave with how his daughters turned out, especially with her being in journalism. But when it comes down to that, I feel like they're no different. They're a bunch of damn grifters. So that's what y'all got in common, is that Jake and Anna are basically grifters. They go where the wind blows. And y'all are not progressive. I don't know what y'all need to define progressive, because if you think what y'all doing on TV or well, they're not on TV, they're on YouTube and on social media is progressive, then y'all need to look up what that word actually means, because there's nothing progressive about what kind of information y'all putting out there or the type of reporting. And you said Whoopi loves to cancel the opinion of people and says your opinion is invalid in my show, my rules. And that's why a lot of like the younger Gen Zer types don't like her, because I remember like when it came down to the kids protesting because of the whole Palestine situation, she's talking about her time when she was there, Vietnam and stuff. I was like, girl, we ain't talking about that. Well, first of all, the Vietnam protests of the Vietnam War and all other stuff was no different than people protesting, what happened with, the war in Gaza. And we've been protesting wars forever. But it seems like nothing really changes. And I've always said this before. We need to stop looking into our governors and politicians. We're the ones that are the that move the needle, that changes the way things are. The politicians who want to make a name for themselves will jump on it so that way they could look like they're progressive in the situation. Unless there is a rare breed out there where there are politicians that will fight for the people. But for the most part, we are the ones that make the change. And as soon as people unplug from the matrix and realize that we're the ones that's got to make these changes and be like, we're over the BS, which is kind of like I started seeing it with that whole situation with that, what is that, United Health? And that situation, the CEO, they got pop out. The people's waking up, and I see Blue Cross Blue Shield. Y'all change your mind about trying to only give people a certain amount of hours where y'all cover anesthesia. Yeah, I see y'all change your mind real quick when that CEO got pop out multiple times in broad daylight in Midtown Manhattan. I'm gagging over that. I'm like, damn, we out here pow-powing people in broad daylight in Midtown Manhattan. Where they do that at, especially at 7, and it was rush hour. That's the gag. You said he missing hair and she missing eyebrows. But Leonard always had I think he has a receded hairline, so he shaves it. And Whoopi always had shaved her eyebrows off. I don't remember why she does it, but I think she said she shaves them off. And you said if he didn't have a 5 o'clock shadow or a stash or wore lipstick, he would look like okay. And he'd probably be dating Lita Waithe. This is why a new cast needs to happen and go back to pop culture and celebrity culture, because the view has changed a lot. Yeah, because it was like, I remember when they were at the forefront of pop culture. Like, I used to love the view back in the day. And they used to bring all kinds of celebrities on and they would talk about pop stuff. And I love the fact that that was the time when we got Barbara Walters to kind of like not be this uptight news reporter, because that's what you had to be back in the day when it came to, we didn't have news reporters as personalities. They would just sit there, read the teleprompter, report the news, and she's, interviewing, leaders from around the world and prime ministers and all other stuff. But to see Barbara Walters coming in dressed as Marilyn Monroe for Halloween and doing the little voice and really relaxing and that sort of thing, that was a great side of her. And I think that kind of kicked off seeing media people, well, not media people, reporters as personalities. When you look at a lot of these shows now we have like pundits. We don't even have or they're reporters who have to kind of engage with the audience, but a lot of them don't have that personality, quiet as a skip. So, I do feel like they need to go back to that, because here's the thing. Now I'm hearing Bill Maher talking about he might quit doing real time because he's like, I don't want to do another 4 years where all we're talking about is Trump. After a while, that gets annoying. And I understand we do need to push and, report whenever he's doing some crazy stuff. But there's enough people out there that can do that. The View needs to get back to pop culture. They need to mix the pop culture stuff in. The problem is they have way too many people on that panel that don't know nothing about pop culture. I actually like when they had the season with Jenny McCarthy, and then they had that tall chick on there, Michelle Collins, I think what her name was, and then they had Sherry Shepherd. They made it more fun because it was like they brought on more of the pop culture stuff, but apparently they felt like it wasn't working. Maybe it was the cast of women that y'all picked, but I do agree, if you want to evolve the View, because no shade, their viewership is gonna. Well, I mean, the people that watch their show, they lean a little old. So I'm not saying that we need to get rid of all of the older people on the panel, because we need that money. But I do feel like y'all need to mix it up and have younger people come on the show and do pop culture stuff. Or maybe we need more panel shows like A View, but geared more towards Gen Z, Gen Alpha. But the problem is kids don't watch TV like that. I mean, you could still have it on television, but the smart thing would do is put the episodes on YouTube as well. So that way people can go on YouTube if they don't have Hulu or TV like I don't. The only way I see The View is on Hulu. So if you don't have, or you can now watch it on YouTube, they post all the full episode up there. Same thing with Sherry Shepherd. They post her full show up there too. They don't do that really with Kelly Clarkson and Screaming for Hudson, but they do it with them. And I was like, why don't they just put them up on there where they can have gear it towards the streaming thing, and that'll be the thing, because that's the way kids watch TV now. But it would be interesting to have younger shows and younger point of view, because there's a lot of young people out here, and I watch on a lot of the streaming services or YouTube per se that have valid opinions about stuff and are thoroughly entertaining. But I don't see like network TV. They're not trying to give us little independent folk over here a chance. And look, I'll be entertaining y'all for like a good damn 4 hours with all the stuff that be coming out of my mouth. But anyway, no please. I felt like I've always said he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, meaning that he was a Democrat disguised as a Republican. But yeah, all of a sudden now but look, he only got one more damn year that we can get rid of his black ass and he can go to jail where he belongs. So, cause you haven't done anything mayoral since you stepped into Gracie Mansion. So he needs to go. And I can't wait to get rid of him. But yeah, now he's trying to do stuff with Trump. We talked about it on the show, talking about, oh, I'm willing to work with Trump in regards to this whole migrant situation. Because like I said, Meals on Wheels, Greg Abbott went and shipped all them damn migrants from Texas on a bus and dropped them off in New York. And then it wasn't, I don't know who gave Eric Adams the idea, but he was giving them vouchers or whatever. Not saying that we shouldn't help immigrants, because we should, but we also need to help the people in our state too. So he's giving immigrants vouchers so that way they can buy baby formula and Pampers and those other things. So they're getting like a weekly voucher. And it's sort of like, but what about us? Like, we got stuff over here, and they talking about they can get apartments and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, we're getting all these new buildings. Because I was just on Jamaica Avenue earlier, and I'm seeing they building new apartment buildings over there. They literally about to open up a Raising Cane's over there. So I'm like, Raising Cane's on Jamaica Avenue in Queens? That's new. They already got a Shake Shack over there. So they basically, I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of the gentrification of Queens, because it is happening. And I told y'all they starting to push the migrants out of Elmhurst, because one of my best friends lives in Elmhurst. So Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, they're getting rid of them too, because that's where they was all over there. And they pushing them out because they trying to gentrify the neighborhood. That don't mean that we want y'all to start ushering all these Asians and white folks so that way y'all could jack up the damn rent. And then people paying $2,500 for a damn studio. And that is not me exaggerating. There are literally studio apartments or one bedrooms that are close to $2,500 to $3,000. Where they do that at? And why are people having to pay $3,000 for an apartment? I really think the Democrats hurt themselves because they don't care about politicians that the working class wants. People want, and yeah, exactly. And the fact of the matter is, they're trying to choose for us, and people started to notice that. That's why people said that we didn't choose Kamala to be our Democratic nominee, but because she's there, now we have to jump on it because we can't have the alternative, which we ended up with anyway. So yes, why didn't we have a primary? All of a sudden, you like, oh well, Biden can't come in. I mean, well, Biden, oh my gosh, he's becoming the, Weekend at Bernie's. So now we gotta find somebody to replace him real quick. So we gotta put her in. But she wasn't presidentially ready. She wasn't. I don't care how qualified you are. You was not ready to be president of the United States. Like I said, I'm all for a woman being the president, but we need somebody that we want. I ain't want quiet as kept. I ain't want Hillary either. Now I liked her husband, but I ain't never liked her. And stop trying to choose for us who y'all feel that is who y'all want to put in office. Because we actually chose Barack Obama. I feel like that was during my lifetime, the only president I was like, okay, now this is somebody I'm here for. At the time, you said, but they hate progressives. They'll corrupt AOC before she runs for. Oh, you mean like they tried to get Bernie Sanders? Yeah, I agree. I like Anna's the only one I like too. Anna is celebrating Twitch's demise, knowing Hassan Picker won't have. Oh, you talking about Anna, the other chick? I thought you were talking about Anna Navarro. I was gonna say Anna Navarro. People call Michelle. Even South Park is basically saying we need a year or two because we need no Trump to no Trump. We already had him as president. But whatever. People see them, it's like they forget Kelly is on Peacock and Drew is on Paramount Plus. I said that's gatekeeper in my Oh, okay. Because yeah, you're right. She is on Peacock. But Peacock, I don't really be watching. I have Peacock, but I don't really be watching a lot of stuff on there. The only stuff on Peacock. Well, besides Twisters, because that's on there now. The only things I watch on Peacock is The Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I got to watch this week's episode. I keep forgetting because there's other stuff on. Also, I got to watch Creature Commandos. They dropped the first 2 episodes, I think, yesterday. So I gotta watch that. But what's the only okay? So I watch Law and Order SVU and Organized Crime because I love me some Christopher Maloney. But other than that, it's like I really don't be watching a lot of stuff on Peacock. So I watch. So yeah, and House of Villains, that's on there too. Because I love Candy Muse in New York. So there's not a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, and then there's the remake of Day of the Jackal with Eddie Redmayne. That's actually a good show too. And I think Lashana Lynch. That's a good show. We got a second season, green light. So there's a couple of things I watch on Peacock, but I'm not really a big Peacock watcher. And it's the only streamer that I have that I allow ads on. Because the ads aren't long. It's like 60 seconds. It's kind of like Tubi. I'm like, I can just sit through I can do the quick commercials. It's not a big deal. You said Mitt Romney. Mittens just announced he's leaving the Senate to go back being an American citizen. He's always been very anti-Trump guy and has very much been opposed to New Republic. Yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing. They don't like the New Republican Party, so instead of them trying to go back and forth and fight it, they're like, you know what? I've been in this politics game for a long time. I'm getting up there in age. I don't, you know, they're like that Tina Turner song. I don't really want to fight anymore. So it's like they ready to move on. And I don't blame them. It was like, it shouldn't be called The View, maybe Their View. Child, don't even get me started because there's this show. Shout out to DJ and EJ. There's this show, a homosexual talk show. But they be doing shows like they be doing the Circle, which is like they'll do one episode every 6 months. And I don't know how you have a reality show and you only put out new episodes every couple of months. It's like out of sight, out of mind, especially in this climate. Can you imagine if I did this show? Like I only gave y'all one show a month, y'all were banning shit. That's why I give y'all multiple shows a week. But anyway, they have a show called Our View, which is supposed to be kind of like The View, but it's like the homosexuals giving their opinion. Sidebar, that's something we need. We need a talk show, like a panel talk show, where we have the homosexuals giving their opinions. We could talk politics, we could talk pop culture, we could talk gay stuff or LGBTQIA plus stuff. We need that show. And child, if they ever develop that, Chris is auditioning. And I can use this as my, my as part of my reel. Because I keep it real. He said, I do believe the Obama Democrats are MAGA. I won't say MAGA Republicans. I do feel like the Democratic Party are more centrist, center-right, rather than this left, whatever stuff they call. A lot of their policies, a lot of the stuff that they agree and they vote on are very much a lot of Republican policies. I think most people started to really see it once Kamala started abandoning the people within the Democratic Party to start hobnobbing with Republicans, particularly Liz Cheney. And it's like, huh? Why are you brown nosing and hobnobbing with them? So we see what you was up to, sis. It was not a good look. Is that Kamala hated doing interviews. It seemed to me she looks down on the comment. See, and that was the point. I think what Charlamagne was alluding to when you say that she looks down on common folks. No shade, but I feel like a lot of them sorority, AKA types, a lot of you sorors and fraternity folks, who a lot of them are, they go from fraternity sororities and stuff and get into, law and then also into politics. I feel like a lot of them kind of thumb their nose because I do feel like in our community, is it safe to say that we don't really have a race issue in this country? I do feel like that people are racist and all that other stuff, but I feel like we have more of a class issue than anything. I just feel like a lot of these people who are in these powerful positions, the 1%, like to use racism and sexism and xenophobia and all these things to try to scare people while they skim off more of the pie. And then you get this little piece, the small little piece of the pie, and we got to divide it up against 300 plus million people in America. And people get so distracted by the other stuff that we're not fighting the real enemy, which is these millionaires and billionaires that continue to rob us blind. Hence why I'm not that mad over that man that that person from Universal, what is it, the insurance company. That's why I feel no ways tired about it. Because it's like it was only a matter. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Not that I'm condoning it, but I'm surprised based off of the way that y'all purposely deny people insurance and y'all profit from that, the denials. The more they deny people the ability to their insurance to cover stuff, which we paying out of our pocket. That's the part I don't understand. How you denying me stuff and I'm paying for the insurance? You're taking a percentage of it out of my check when I'm working. So how would you can't afford for me to get this thing done? If I need to go get a colonoscopy, because I'm getting at that age, and or if I have like a situation where it requires surgery, how is this stuff not being paid for? How are you denying it? So I just got to wither away and die. This is why I said I don't understand how we got universal health care in other places. Like my friends who are married, gay couple in Spain, have universal health care. I'm like, well, damn, I need to move there. I just got to brush up on my Espanol. So y'all get universal health and was telling me that if your significant other dies, that the government pays half the rent. So you're pretty much set. So you don't have to have that burden on yourselves. Why is it that it's a crime or it's bad for people to get help? And then you have these idiots out here who are just like, well, I'm not paying for someone else to have something. See, that's that mentality of those mitas. Yeah, I'm gonna read you bitches now. And I'm a part of it. So part Latin. I mean Hispanic, I should say. But I'm gonna read some of you bitches that would run up in here and talking about, well, I already came in through the door, getting my papers and all this other stuff. So now I don't want them to come up in here. So I'm gonna burn the ladder behind me so them people don't come in. You gotta come in the way we did it. So they get mad at the migrants that's coming in for a better life. That's that selfishness. So it's like, oh no, I don't want universal health care because I don't want those other people to have. Hell, you care about other people. The fact of the matter is you're benefiting from it as well. So I don't understand that mentality. But people get so caught up in their bigotry and their selfishness, they don't see the forest for the trees. Which is basically what you were saying. It's like F poor people off yourselves. It's like it seems that horror is to be premium without the wait, they have a premium for to be where the hell have I been? I didn't know they didn't do ads, but how do you get that? Do I have to pay money? You said you saying that their horror is to be premium without the ads. I was kind of you're talking about Peacock. So because I was like, how do I get that? Because I was looking at it. I was looking at the one with the ad and the one with the premium, but I was confused by the way it was set up because I'm like, y'all not gonna sit up here and pay because look, I heard people complain that why am I paying for no ads on? I can't remember the service it is. I think it might be Paramount Plus on one of them. But somebody was like, "Why am I paying for no ads and I'm still getting ads?" Or it might be Hulu. And I'll be wondering that too. It's like, yeah, if I'm paying for no ads, then there should be no kind of ad of any kind in there. I don't want to see the commercials. I don't want to get all that information. I just want to watch the show. My condolences to Log Camera MAGA if they do the. Oh no, we can have a log camera Republican on and combat the foolishness that they say. The funny enough, I remember one time I told a joke in my class when I was in college because I had to take sociology. So one of the teachers, who was a really cute white guy, said something, and I remember I gave the log cabin Republican answer, and he laughed. I was like, let me find out you know what a log cabin Republican is. Don't tell. Let me find out you a homosexual. Then I would have jumped on that. And you said we definitely do have a race issue in the South. The class issue isn't that much of a big deal down here when there's just as many poor white folks. Yeah, I don't understand that. Y'all willing to just be poor and uneducated and just wallow in your own misery than trying to make your life better. I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you want to work on? I mean, I understand that people are a victim of circumstance and sometimes things just don't go your way, but at least like try to get the things that you want. I don't understand like, well, if I can't have it, I'm going to burn it and destroy it and make sure those other people don't get it as well. I'm not one of those woe is me types. And you said with members represent the LGBTQ plus on this show. Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking about? Well, yeah. Well, I would think that the requirement will have to be everybody has to be a member of the community. We can have a. Oh Lord, is it going to look like that episode of Drag Race when Carmen Carrera was like, "I wanted a big girl, and I wanted an Asian girl, and I wanted a white girl, and I wanted a black girl, and I wanted a skinny girl." You know, remember when she did that? It's like, okay, this is not a Benetton ad, sis. So it's like we got to have one gay, one transgender. It's like I don't want it to kind of look like we have to very Hollywood now, which is we got to check every box. It's just whoever has the chemistry, whoever can actually bring it in regards to conversation. But I definitely think that we should have a trans person on the show. And I'll be like, get Laverne Cox. Because she's definitely like good TV. And not as polarizing as some people are, because there's some people out there that could be a little polarizing in regards of how they deliver stuff. The way Laverne talks, it's sort of like people will be willing to listen and learn. So she has that way of getting through to people without being people feeling, scared and sometimes you need that. Whereas I'm not saying that you got to be demure and mindful and hold back on the stuff you're saying, but you got to be able to deliver stuff without you don't want to come across like Megan McCain if you up, or as I like to call her, Nutmeg, when you up there just saying a bunch of stuff, and it's like, okay, bitch, shut up. So we said we have a class issue and education issue. The highly educated mocks people, absolutely, that failed a diploma or GED. And look, there are people out there who didn't graduate high school that are very intelligent. I've had conversations with them, but I don't like I agree. I don't like the idea of people who kind of look down on those who aren't as highly educated as you are. Because it just feels like, okay, well, what can you do for me? Like it gives very that. And you said the Facebook post announcing the CEO Pow Pow got 64. Oh, child. And did you hear the thing on the page that they blocked the laugh emojis, so you can't even hit the laugh button on there because they're gagging over the fact that people are like, okay, thoughts and prayers. Like when it comes down, like we don't give a shit. You think we supposed to give a damn because this CEO was gunned down? If y'all wasn't out here raping our wallets the way that y'all do, and millions of people dying because y'all out here denying, you know, them to get the surgery and stuff they need, then we wouldn't be in this position. If if insurance companies wasn't one big scam, then people wouldn't be having this problem. And you said it seems asking for help or wanting help is a sign of weakness. That's true. Wouldn't you rather have all the credit instead of sharing it? And many insurance companies are removing CEO and leadership pages. What, you don't think we could Google Schmoogle and find out who the next CEOs are? Because what if he has like a list, kind of like the Black Mamba in Kill Bill, where it's like you crossing out all the names of the people you got to take out, and they still ain't found them. They talking about, oh, we got a picture of his face, which I think they used AI on, and say he went and got himself a city bike. Which, if you get a city bike, you can actually go through you can pull up the person's information because you have to. I believe you have to use a credit card in order to rent the city bikes in New York. And then they said he escaped in Central Park to in order, so that way he could escape the cameras. I said, well, child, in that if he would have escaped into the Rambles, that would have been something else. The homosexuals, y'all know the Rambles. You said 3 gays with a token lesbian and bi. Or everybody's fluid to a degree. So we can have 3 gays, a lesbian, and a transgender, be it male or female. So we can have that. Oh yeah, we can have somebody on there maybe that's fluid, or you can have like a guest come on and that sort of thing. Or we could do the 6 co-host thing like they do on The View. But remember that show, One Girl, 5 Gays, that used to come on? I used to love that show. On it used to be on Logo. And to bring that back, I don't think we have an education issue. There's definitely mean-spirited people who look down on those without diplomas, but people should know what they set themselves up for when they drop out. Well, people don't think that far ahead. Did you see Musk saying that the CEOs are needed, wanted? Yeah, I did see. I did see that. I just rolled my eyes and kept scrolling. And you said there's images of his face because he was cheesing with some lady. I mean, he was good looking too. Some people say he looked like Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like, okay. I ain't see Jake Gyllenhaal, but he is good look. He was cute. And he said, and then there are definitely highly educated people who never step foot in a college campus. Look at all the billionaires. Who, exactly. There's been a lot of people who have been able to start businesses and become entrepreneurs and are CEOs of their own company and never went to college. Didn't what's his name? Fuckerberg, didn't he drop out? I could be wrong about that, but because I only saw the social network once. And you said they had an ad for that CEO position. Oh yeah, I saw that too. Now that's funny. And some people was like, "Well, damn, the body ain't even cold yet, and here y'all go with this." And then his wife talking about, "Well, yeah, he was getting death threats." I'm like, okay, and what that got to do with the price of tea in China? I don't care. But anyway, um, well, look, I know it's like it's been a minute since we got to the next topic, but I will tell you guys this: well, not we, because I do the show, but I will be putting timestamps in as I've been doing with the previous episodes into the show, so that way y'all know when to come in. If you are somebody who's coming in later into the show and not watching the live stream, and you want to go and skip to whatever the topics that we have that's going to be coming up into the show. But anyway, so let's move on and let's talk about Eminem, whose mother, Debbie, passed away early in the week. I believe she had lung cancer. But now his younger brother, Nathan, who I was like, "Ooh, that's your brother? Okay." His brother's cute. But anyway, so apparently his brother went on social media and didn't hold back when he was sharing his thoughts on the recent passing of his mother, Debbie. And you know that Eminem did not have the best relationship with his mother. I think even at one point, Deb tried to file a lawsuit because he was saying all kinds of stuff about her in his music. I don't know if she ever got any financial compensation. I don't remember that part, but apparently, so let's get into the story. So apparently, Nate took to social media on Tuesday, the day after the news broke that his mother had passed away, to share an IG story post that simply read "Hatred and mixed emotions today." Now, Nelson died Monday in St. Joseph, Missouri, at the age of 69 from complications related to lung cancer. Per TMZ, who was first to report the news of Nelson's death, she was first reported ill back in September. Now, Nelson welcomed Nate, her youngest son, with her boyfriend Fred Samra when Eminem, real name Marshall Mathers III, was 13. She was previously married to Eminem's father, Marshall Mathers Jr., with the pair tying the knot. Sidebar: I had no idea Eminem was a third. I didn't even know there was a junior. I thought it was just Marshall Mathers. But anyway, so they said that she was previously married to Eminem's father, Marshall Mathers Jr., when the pair tied the knot when Nelson herself was just 16. The rapper was born 2 years later in 1972. So wait, what's his year? Oh, so Eminem is 52 years old. Shout out to him. So Eminem's father later abandoned him and his mom when he was a baby, with the real Slim Shady musician remaining estranged from his father up to his death at 67, excuse me, in 2019. Now, after ups and downs at home with Nelson, Eminem was declared his brother's legal guardian when Nate was 16, after he was in foster care for nearly 10 years. Now, that's crazy. So it's like, she was not only well, I could see why Nate felt the way he felt. Not only was Debbie a horrible mother to Eminem, but he was a horrible mother to Nate too, and was in and out of foster care for a decade before Eminem was old enough to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take him in and I'm gonna take care of him. Which we've known that Eminem is somebody that has been very much taking care of a lot of his family and stuff, once his career started blowing up. Now, Eminem opened up about stepping in to care for his brother during an interview with Rolling Stone in 2004, telling the outlet, he said, "I cried just going to see him at the foster home. The day that he was taken away, I was the only one allowed to see him. They had come and got him out of school. He didn't know what the F was going on. The same thing that happened in my life was happening in his." He said when he was taken away, I always said if I ever get in a position to take him, I would take him. I tried to apply for full custody when I was 20, but I didn't have the means. Now, while it appears that Nathan had a tumultuous relationship with Nelson over the years, so did Eminem, who famously wrote about his mother in some of his earlier songs, including the 2002 track, Cleaning Out My Closet. The track led to Nelson suing her son for $11 million for defamation. Well, child, if it's the truth, it ain't defamation. Now, despite it all, Nate, who is now married with 3 kids, has credited his older brother as being the best role model I could ever have, telling Eminem's daughter Haley Jade during an appearance on her Just a Little Shady podcast in February 2023. He was the best role model I could have had to help me be the dad that I am today. So, when everybody was out here saying all this stuff about Eminem, the one thing about him that I've always admired, because, everybody got caught up in, oh, he says the F word, and he says all these other derogatory words. That was just Eminem being controversial. But at the end of the day, he was a family man. He was somebody that will always do right by the people in his life. Drama notwithstanding with his mother and his wife, Kim, who he was going through with things, and we all like the all pomp and circumstance, because as an artist, you creating personas and characters and things of that nature. So I'm actually glad that, what, while it's sad that, if somebody loses a parent, but if she was not a good parent, it's like, what, I don't feel no ways about it. It's like, yeah, I feel mixed emotions, which is like, I feel absolute hatred for her, and that's valid. And then, I'm feeling all kinds of ways about the relationship. It's sort of like, I'm at peace now that she's gone, but I still have this anger that's boiling within me. And hopefully he can find ways of working through that. I don't know if he's in therapy, whatever the case is, but hopefully he is working through those feelings and doesn't let that consume him. Because one of the things I've always made a vow in my life, even when there's people in my family that I cannot stand, and I would not spit on them if their ass was on fire, made peace with the point that it's like, what? I'm not going to allow that evil energy, that negativity to consume who I am as a person, because it doesn't allow me to prosper. It doesn't allow me to get to the levels that I want to get in life. So I don't want that kind of energy coming into my situation. So I'm let go and let God, as they like to say. I learned that from Vinny Guadagnino, because I remember one time he said that. Sidebar, shout out to him, because he was at the Knicks game that I was working yesterday. Actually, he was there. So, okay, Vinny, cute self. You still cute, even though you was at that Trump rally that I worked too. So I say all that to say, the big one at Madison Square Garden. So I say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards of Eminem, Nate, and their mother passing away and all that good stuff? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so hey Ezra. Ezra Sprout says On Guard Cigar Salon is kind of the view for older. Why have I never heard of this show? I never heard of On Guard Cigar Salon. First of all, say that 10 times fast. And then didn't they do a show? Because I know in the UK, they have a show called Loose Women, which is basically like The View. First of all, I love that title, because like Loose Women. And it's like one of the things I love about the Brits, y'all sense of humor, because y'all sense of humor kind of rivals mine in a way. I love British humor. And I think that's why whenever I watch RuPaul's Drag Race UK, I realize that RuPaul looks like he has a whole lot of, he loves doing that show. You can definitely tell in his demeanor. All these other shows are, okay, I'm just here for the check. But even America. But when it comes down to the British one, I think he kind of relates a lot with their type of humor, and they don't take themselves so seriously. But I feel like, they have Loose Women. I was watching something on YouTube one time, and they had like Loose Men. I'm like, is this a spinoff? But I need to check out that show. They have a show for older leather daddies. I'm like, where have I been? Maybe me saying On Guard Cigar Salon, they'll put that in my algorithm, and then all of a sudden it'll show up on my thing, and I won't have to like search for it later. But anyway. Okay, so what's the next? Oh, let's get our next topic and talk about Miss Cardi B, who, once again, instead of her just like pushing along and worrying about putting together this long overdue sophomore album, she has to get on social media whenever something is said about her, and she's got to justify things or explain why she's making decisions. So apparently people got on social media and they were clowning her over the fact that she signed this Sheen deal, or whatever the case is. So she opened up about her money bag after fans, said that she was struggling financially because she signed on for a couple of $100,000 to do a deal with Shein. And she does high and low when it comes to her fashions. And she is a fashion darling. She's always at a lot of the front rows of a lot of the shows. She gets a lot of she gets a lot of Birkin bags. She's she's at the shows of Balenciaga and all the big names. And I'm sure like Christian Siriano has made clothes and stuff for her. So I do wonder on that part of like with her endorsing Shein, does that hurt her brand in regards of the fashion, like the high-end fashion stuff, the couture, houses that want to dress her, especially like for the Met Gala and all that other stuff, because it's like Shein and Fashion Nova are kind of like in the same. I don't do Shein and Fashion Nova. I mean, I was like, yeah, they do have guy stuff. But usually if I buy stuff, like I'll buy something off of Amazon or I buy stuff from TikTok. Like TikTok be having some nice stuff up on there too. But when it comes down to like Shein and Fashion Nova, they basically take a lot of the designs of couture stuff or people who are big from big fashion houses. They basically take their style, they create it, and then they just give it. It's more affordable. So it's basically like online, but with it's kind of like H&M, but online. I don't know if I should put it in those terms, but y'all get it when it comes down to, because look, sometimes the Balenciagas and all the other stuff that be out here in them fashion houses and in them high end stores do be ending up. They do a smaller retail version for an H&M. So we've seen that happen. Because I have seen, like, I've gone to, before I stopped shopping at H&M, I used to see that they would have like a limited edition Balenciaga type of stuff, and I would look at some of them clothes and I'm like, and these are the ugliest designs y'all can come up with, but of course y'all gonna make that cheap. Like if y'all gonna make something expensive, y'all should do it on that the same level of the other stuff. Just make it affordable. So basically, so she's determined to show that she has income from a lot more sources than social media posts plugging fast fashion, including a mid-8-figure tour offer. Now, she hopped on Twitter Spaces on Tuesday, December 3rd, and responded to fan feedback about her brand partnerships, like this Instagram post plugging Shein posted on the day of the Twitter Spaces conversation. Now, I do have that video, and shout out to Too Cool to Blog over on Instagram for having the video that I want to show y'all. So we are going to play that and then we'll come back and talk.
Anyways, no, wait, no. I want my haters to be a too, because y'all talking money shit. Y'all know I don't like when people talk money shit. Wait. People say that I'm surviving off Shein deals and brand deals. Wait, hold on. Okay, so y'all like to talk about tour deals a lot. Y'all like to talk about tour a lot, right? I want to let y'all know that I could wake up tomorrow and sign a contract and I will have half of 65 million or half of 70 million in my bank. What it says right here. I want you to read it. Read it to me clearly and look at the dates. That was on September of this year. Not old shit. And mind you, this my off year. This is my off year, by the way. This is my off year. I don't want to take tour deals until I announce my album. Because when I announce my album, I know they're gonna up it. You gotta move smart like a bitch. You can't act like you hungry, especially when you're not. What it says right there. You don't have to do this. No, I have to do this. Cause who gotta survive of what? I'm not surviving, baby. I'm spend like about $3 million in a month. Spend about 3 M's in a month. Who what? Who's hungry? Who's not getting what? Bitch, I could fucking write a contract, a fucking tour deal right now and get 65 M's. Right now. What it says right there. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I don't lie about shit and I don't lie about bread. Because if I don't fucking have it, bitch, I'm gonna go and get it. Anyways, no, wait, I want my haters to be a too, because y'all talking.
Okay, so y'all pretty much got the gist because it was going to repeat. But I don't understand, girl, you don't have to explain your business dealings or whatever with anybody. But Cardi always has to get on social media and just windmill everybody that goes against anything that's going on with her. You're always going to have your haters. You're always going to have people out here that's got something to say. Why even give the energy or waste your time being like, so, I want my haters to be in here because y'all sitting here thinking that I'm surviving only on Sheen Deal. And yeah, it is true that Cardi, hasn't put out an album in 6 years. The follow up to Invasion of Privacy. She did say that we are getting a new album in 2025. Now that is TBD. Because every year since Invasion of Privacy, she has said, "Oh, I'm putting out an album," and it never comes. So I ain't holding my breath on regard to this album come out. I need to believe it when I see it. And at this point, it's sort of like, okay, if Cardi decides to put out a record, she puts out a record. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But I'm not like overall, oh my God, I can't wait for Cardi to put out a record. Like, I like her. I like her personality. I think she's funny. I've met her a couple of times, working at the garden and stuff. So I like Cardi B. But for the most part, it's sort of like, if she put out a record, she put out a record. If she don't, she don't. I don't feel no ways about it. And if the songs is a bop, I'll bop them. But if the songs I'm not feeling it, then I'll let you know if I ain't feeling it. But she also wanted to explain that she hadn't accepted, as y'all know, any tour offers because she was waiting to release the sophomore album. Now, later on, she also said that her expenses will sometimes run $3 million a month. She touched on a similar topic during another Twitter Spaces talk late last month when she revealed how much she gets paid per show, as well as the staggering amount of money she spends each month on living costs. So now, speaking on November 27th on Twitter Spaces, the Bronx Bombshell began by explaining how her relationship with money was shaped by growing up around drug dealers who blew all of their illicit earnings instead of making smart investments. And that's what you need to do. And I think a lot of times, let's be clear, especially when you're someone from the hood and you're a person of color, a lot of times we don't understand or learn how to invest our money because there's no one to teach us how to balance a checkbook, how to even write a check, or how to invest our money in things such as real estate or other business endeavors or buy some stock on Wall Street and all those things. We don't have those conversations. Now, there are people of color out here who are posting, doing videos and things of that nature and on how to do that. But for the most part, Black folks or people of color just be happy to get like $1,000 or $2,000 in their account. They think that's a lot of money. They rich when they see that, even though we know that's not being rich. But it's like when you get all that money from out here selling drugs and all this other stuff, you get so caught up in it. It's like you got to be able to be copacetic with it. Don't get too big for your britches because the minute you step out of line and get greedy, that's when they get you. As Al Capone. For years he got away with being, taking all them, taking people out, but they got him on that tax evasion. And Cardi does have that hustler mentality, which is why I think a lot of people look at her and they like her. And so she went and said, every 4 months, I get a big fat check off of all the songs that I've dropped. Everybody that was involved on the album, we all get a nice check. So I still get paid for my music alone. Music is my biggest revenue. I get paid $1.5 million to do shows in America. And it depends on the venue because if the venue's big, I got to get $2 million. If I'm going out of the state, I'm getting $2.5 million. If people are giving me money to promote something, I'm going to take the money. And that's why she's doing the Sheen deal. And I guess some people say all money ain't good money, but if it's good for her, just to be a little something, something that she just pay off, and that'll be like for what the outfits that she need, somebody to do her hair and her makeup because makeup and hairstylists are not cheap, and she's paying for that. And plus, on top of that, she's got to have money for outfits. Because quiet as it's kept, if she went outside in the same damn outfit, y'all know y'all gonna get on social media and clown her for wearing the same thing more than once. So then she also said that her eye-watering thing, she turned her attention to her eye-watering outgoing, saying, there are bills and something to be paid every single effing day. Even if I don't step out of the house, there are bills to pay. Now, Cardi proceeded to list off some of her many expenditures, including a cleaning servant at her home. No, some people are like, well, why don't you clean your own house? Have you been into my house? I'm like, who cleaning all of this? And quiet as it's kept, if I was making the money Cardi B was making, you best believe I'm hiring somebody to clean my damn house. I'm not cleaning my house. I'm in a mansion, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. Who cleaning all of that? Not I, said the cat. I'm hiring somebody to do it. And I don't mind paying the money. I remember once upon a time, I told my parents, I was like, if I ever got a house or whatever the case was, I said, I'm hiring somebody to mow the lawn. I'm hiring somebody to do this, do that. They're going to fix all this. I'm not doing all of that. I do not have a green thumb. I'm not somebody that likes to repair or fix nothing because I'm not getting no splinters up in these hands. And call it whatever you want. But I'm like, no. If there's people out there that could do it, why the hell do I got to sit up here and fuck up my body parts? Trying to fix things up or save money when I'm making enough money. Money is not that big of an issue for me. I like to be comfortable, but money is not the end all be all of my existence. As long as I have enough still coming in where I can take care of myself, I'm good. And she also proceeded to list off some of her many I told you she has a cleaning service at her home, 24-hour security, around the clock car service. Oh, I would definitely need that too. Cause I'm like, bitch, I ain't driving. I'll have all the fields cars, but I'm gonna have me a driver who's gonna drive me from point A to point B. But then again, I probably have like a SUV, drive me around the city or whatever. I have my driver, my little, my Farnsworth Bentley, or what was the name? My Jeffrey. And I'll be in the back doing whatever it is, making my phone calls. And of course, my driver's gonna have to sign an NDA. You can't say shit about what's going on in this car at all. Because the security guards and the drivers always know where the bodies is buried. That's the best job to have if you ever want to work for somebody famous, a politician or a celebrity. Because they know everything. Their ears be percolating because they're around you 24/7 or however long you have them on your employ. So she said, so besides the round-the-clock car service, she has a nanny who she pays $3,500 to, presumably per week, to look after her 6-year-old daughter, Culture, and another nanny who charges $700 per day to look after her 2-month-old baby. And I know some people are like, well, why she ain't watching her own kids? Because I'm busy. I don't have time to be being a mother. I'm gonna be a mother. That's not that. No, I take that back because she does have time to be a mother. Because I'm a mother to my kids, but if there's other things that's going on, yeah, I can't be with my kids 24/7. So therefore, there needs to be a nanny to make sure that Culture is going to and from school or whatever the case is. Her homework is done. She take her bath. She eats. Do all the other things. And so 3,500 plus 700. That's a lot of money. Damn, it must be good coin being a nanny to a celebrity baby. If you're paying that kind of money. Now, the mother of 3 also important. And if I had children, trust and believe, they'd be with the nanny too. And if they get mad at me too, like, you was never in my life. Well, I'm like, child, but you was living a life of luxury. That was me being in your damn life. I mean, I would be in my kid's life in some sort of way. But yes, but if the nanny's there, you talking about, well, you didn't spend quality time. Yes, I did. Because if I wasn't running out here doing all this stuff, you wouldn't be able to live the life that you live in. And trust and believe, having this life is better for you because you don't have to worry about nothing versus your parents struggling and you having to worry about when you getting food or whatever, a roof over your head and clothes on your back. So they also said that she also employs a full-time house manager and spends upwards to $5,000 on hair and makeup and at least $8,000 on outfits just so I can step out of the house. She further revealed that she recently spent $50,000 on Christmas decorations alone and splurged $2 million on herself in October, including almost $300,000 on jewelry from Elliot Eliante. Because I'm divorced, I'm single, and shopping makes me feel good. And you know what? If she works hard for it and she wants to be able to spend money, if she has to do other Shein deals or whatever the case is to pay for those expenditures, then I ain't mad at her. But let's read some of these comments from Too Cool to Blog, and then we can get off this topic. So people was jumping in the comments and they said, what music does she have to even do a tour? Okay, first of all, you being shady. She does have a couple of songs, and she has been doing tours off of the song from Invasion of Privacy, her other single that she's released over the years that's not on that album, and her collaborations with other artists. There's plenty of music that she can have where she can give you a good, but she's not doing like a solo show. Like she's not Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj where she's doing her own show. She's doing festivals and appearances at places where she could do a couple, like a medley of her songs. That's what she's at this point because of the one album. Once she releases album number 2, then Cardi could put it out there where it's like, okay, now I'm giving y'all a Megan Thee Stallion, or a Nicki Minaj type of arena tour. Then we can get to, when we get to that, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it in 2025, when she decides to put the tour together, or 2026, because the album got to come out first before she does that. Another person said, all y'all do is see millions, and I understand what she's paying, that she's paying people salaries. 3M a month times 12 months a year is 36 M's. She said they want to pay her 65 M's equals 35 M's for a tour. It's not enough. Now, another person said, Iris is drooling looking at this over that post that I showed you earlier. And then, people in the comments just being shady to me. What's she going to perform? What's she going to perform? It's like, she has songs. I already said that. Another thing they said is, I really want Cardi to go to therapy if she's not already. Let your assistants deal with social media and focus on you. Cardi cares way too much about a stranger's opinion. And I've been saying that for far too long. She cares too much. And I think it's because she a Libra. Them Libras always got something to say when it comes down to stuff. I was friends with one. So I know, I actually still have a friend. One was an ex-friend. He was a September Libra. But my current good friend is an October Libra. And yeah, he does let things, and he can kind of go off and be too, dramatic when it comes to stuff and always want to pop off. So I was like, y'all don't have to address every little thing that somebody said. Y'all get so wrapped up in that. T.S. Madison also a Libra. You be seeing that side of her that come out. So yeah, I do agree with that. And then another person said she's too scared to commit to a tour. She ain't in rotation. Another person says, who gives a F? Drop some music or shut up. So yeah, that's basically all that is right now, and that's what it is. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to Cardi B talking about how much money she spends a month? And like I said before, girl, you don't need to sit up out here and just address every little thing that somebody says about you on social media. Sometimes it just be like them people from Frozen and just let it go, let it go. Like everything don't need to be addressed. Like we don't need to know what's in your wallet. We don't need to know how much money you spend. I mean, it's good to know because I'm nosy, and it's good grist for the mill. But for the most part, you don't have to address every little thing somebody says about you. Been saying this for the longest, but apparently it's going on deaf ears. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now Cleveland says Kim Basinger played the mom in his movie. Oh yeah, I remember that. I went in 8 Mile, but I do agree. You said she's too pretty to play her. Yeah, well, that's Hollywood. Excited about Onion Nerd representing Cleveland. Why I do like that name? Well, I was like, did you see my RuPaul's Drag Race reveal? I did cut it up as a separate thing, but yeah, and we only got one New York girl, and that's Luxmore London's daughter. So we'll see how far she gets. So that basically means, I mean, I be shocked, but I don't know if a New York is gonna win this year. We won last year with Nymphy Win. Because she's from Brooklyn. Megyn Kelly thinks the establishment is hurting Trump before he's president. She thinks none of his cabinet picks are going to go through because of the backlash. Funny enough, I was watching Sabby Sabs, and while Matt Gaetz is problematic, she said that he would have been good because when it comes down to voting, whatever, he definitely hits a hard line in regarding of like freedom of speech, this, that, and the other. The new guy that they got with Pete, he's a problem. So he needs to go. But he wants loyalists in his office rather than people who are qualified for the job. So now he's trying to push for Ron DeSantis. And it's like, no, let him continue to destroy Florida. We don't want him running the country or a part of the country. He said, but Trump is replacing him as we speak. RFK Jr. is next, then Kash Patel. Trump, I think, is trying to people please, and that's the truth. And I like the fact that we have people in place that's like, no, we don't want it. Find somebody else. Nope, not a good idea. Next. And he's trying to people please because those are the people that, with all these names and stuff, the loyalists who got him where he is. And it's like, no, we don't want these crazy radicals. And I like the fact that they're giving him a hard time trying to, get the job. I mean, or get these people that he wants in office. It ain't gonna be easy, sir. She spends too much time defending herself with social media. Use that, and exactly. And I've been saying that for the longest. And it's true. I don't think Tulsi will be the only one allowed, given her background in politics. Scarcity mentality is totally understandable. If you ever had much money, you don't learn how to manage it, and it feels like someone might snatch it. And yeah, because I've always thought about that. Like one of my fears has always been is worrying about, okay, like once you get the money, it's like I don't want to go back to being broke. So it's like that mentality of like you got to keep that money coming in, no matter how. No, I'm gonna find a way to have that money keep coming in because I don't want to go back to being broke or go back to stripping or whatever hard life that you had prior to. Katy Perry passed 100,000 and said, "Is that physical?" Because the word on the curb is she is the premier judge on Drag Race. I was like, what basic homosexual asked for that? Because what, and this is the narrative I'm sick and tired of you basic gays trying to push. It's like, there's nothing about Katy Perry that is a gay icon. And they're going to be saying all that mess if she does turn out to be the pick. Oh, yeah, she's the gays live an ally. I'm like, bitch, please. We don't want it. We didn't ask for it. I'd rather Britney Spears than somebody be up there. But then again, you got Britney Spears running around talking about she 5 years old, about to start kindergarten. So, we could leave her where she at. She talking about she moving to Mexico. Bye says, bye con deals. Okay. He is now, but back in the day, he wasn't. Child, I did cackle when my friend Lady Bunny, hold on. So now when I want my damn phone to open and don't want to freaking open. Oh, and speaking of which, Sabby Sabs was on my YouTube. So Lady Bunny went and posted something on her page. Sure, at this point, I'll put some clothes on. This is why I hate when I open my damn Facebook, because now I'm seeing booty cheeks, booty holes. Remember when Asia, was it, Raja O'Hara said that? Booty holes. So yeah, what did she say? Well, besides the fact that she said controversial opinion, lip syncer is alive. But but when it came down to, because I'm looking for the RuPaul thing. Oh, she said, positive thinking Fridays. Repeat after me. I'm as excited to see Wicked as I am excited to see the new season of Drag Race. So yeah, she was over here saying that because, her Ru kind of, and I have to say, one of the things I love about Lady Bunny is that she's not afraid to critique a lot of the things that Ru does with the fracking and all this stuff. And they be like, isn't that your friend? But I'm like, yeah, but what are they, beyond reproach? Because no one is. If my friends do something that I don't agree with, they're getting called out. But she a capitalist because that's where she get all her coins from. But anyway, so what's that next topic? Oh, so we still are in the female hip hop stuff. So I guess congratulations to GloRilla, who was named the top female rapper of 2024. So GloRilla's year included a big career win, and the Memphis chart topper is excited that her success is being seen. Now, the 25-year-old was named the top female rapper of 2024 by Billboard on the platform's ranking of 10 women musicians and their accomplishments. And I have to say, I do like GloRilla's new album, so it is well deserved that she's up there. Now, they said the publication shared their picks for the top 10 women in rap for the year on Wednesday, and Big Glow. I said Big Geo. Big Glow was holding down the top spot. Now, behind her are the following. So now let's go to number 10. So number 10, child, is Cardi B. I'm like, girl, your cachet is dropping. Maybe next year when she puts out the album, if she does, we'll see if she goes up like her song. So number 10 is Cardi B. Number 9 is another one of my favorite female rappers, Rhapsody. Number 8, JT. Okay, whatever. Number 7, Doja Cat. Number 6 is another one of my favorites who dropped a really good album this year, Doechii. Number 5 is Lotto. Okay. No, Shell, who put Sexy Red at number 4? And then number 3 is Nicki Minaj. Number 2 is Megan Thee Stallion. And number 1 is GloRilla. So now they're saying that noting that Glow suffered a bit of a sophomore slump in 2023 after singles like the Fivio Foreign assisted Cha Cha failed to hit like her breakout songs F&F, Let's Go, and Tomorrow Too. The year prior, Billboard highlights how she made a triumphant comeback and reclaimed her mojo when she struck gold with Yeah Glow at the top of 2024. Now the swaggering track zoomed into the top 30 of the Hot 100 and showcase her resiliency as a rapper who refused to buck under pressure. This is according to journalist Carl Lamar. Her torrid streak continued with the top 15 Hot 100 record Wannabe featuring Megan Thee Stallion and the summer hit TGIF. Now, Lamar continued, everyone felt GloRilla's momentum as pop behemoths Rihanna and Taylor Swift applauded her efforts, saluting her as rap's newest it girl of the moment. Now, Kamala Harris even phoned her up at the tail end of her campaign to win over youth voters during her run against Trump. Well, you see, it didn't help. Well, one of the things I will say this about GloRilla, I like her. I did, when I worked Megan Thee Stallion show, she opened for her. And definitely gave a show. She was up there giving choreography, cute outfits. She was doing her thing or whatever. I didn't really get to pay attention to the show because I was on the floor. And when you're on the floor versus any of the other floors in Madison Square Garden, it's a little bit more chaotic. So I have to really be more alert of what's going on the floor and whatever situations going down there versus like where you can relax a little bit more the higher up on the floors that you go depending on where they schedule you. So but I definitely enjoyed what I saw with her. Like she gave a good performance, during her opening set, as well as, Megan did her thing. And then, they brought out Cardi B at one point, and then all three of them got up there and they did like a remix of one of the songs, one of Megan's songs. And yes, if y'all haven't listened to Glorious actually is a really good record. Definitely check it out. It appeared at number 5 on the Billboard 200 with 69,000 album equivalent units, doubling the release of her spring mixtape, Everything. Yeah, I remember that. So with the success of the mixtape, it pretty much put her out there and people started paying attention to her music. So I do feel like she's the next big thing that's on her way up. Now, in regards to the list, I was like, it's all right. Like, I don't feel no way tired about it. Like, I feel like this is the type of people they would particularly put out there. I'm surprised Rhapsody is on there because Rhapsody is so underground that the fact of seeing her up on there, I'm just like, I actually like the fact that we got someone with such talent up there in the top 10. Now, they also said that even Ciara dressed up as GloRilla during Halloween. And so I was trying to see if there's anything else. So no, it just basically just focuses on the whole thing about Ciara dressing up as her for Halloween. But I don't know. I mean, the list, I don't feel no ways about it. Now, I do find it funny that JT is on there and they ain't put Carisha. Carisha not up there, I guess probably because nobody was bumping her tired ass music. But JT, was doing her thing, even though I think her album flopped too. And Lotto was like, oh, okay. Sexy Red, look, girl, I feel like I got a contact STD just from saying her damn name. But anyway, so there's your list according to Billboard. And I ask all of you this. What do y'all think of this story and the female rappers that they had listed as part of who the female rappers, I guess, mover shakers, influences are according to Billboard of 2024. So whatever your thoughts are on that, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, Nestle Crunchy says, I didn't hear Glow's album, but I didn't like her last. I didn't like her last. No shade. But I didn't like her last mixtape either. But I did like the new album though. She stepped her pussy up on that. You said Damien announced Terrifier 3 re-release has 50 minutes of bonus content before the film. Well, yeah, there's something or another. I believe there's also, I think they're going to show a preview of like, there's a documentary of the making of the movie. I don't know if it's going to be in the theater or it's going to be eventually like when it comes out with when you buy the box, when you buy the physical DVD or whatever the case is. So they're having all of that. Or you said, New York commissioner states CEO murder suspect has. Of course he did. And the way that they just dragging their feet over the situation, I'm saying that man came away. I wouldn't be surprised if he left the damn country. But it also goes to show like how the NYPD are fucking incompetent. But that's Eric Adams for you. Well, we got the world's dumbest mayor who'd rather just be up in there hobnobbing with a bunch of damn strippers than doing his job. I'm not surprised that he left New York. And how would they even know that? Like, y'all checking every camera? Okay, so anyway, excuse me. Let's move on and let's talk about Liam Payne, who there's some tea that came out about his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, who is now in the United States after the singer's tragic death. Because, the last time we talked about Liam on the show, we basically talked about, the theories and stuff that said that he slipped and fell as he was trying to escape his hotel room from the balcony. There were people in my comments who was trying to spread conspiracy theories saying, oh, he was pushed. First of all, I don't know where y'all getting y'all information, because I ain't hear no stories about somebody being in the room with him. They locked him in the room and left him in there, which I thought was a dumb idea to begin with. And they've said before in the past, people actually listen and pay attention, that Liam would escape out of his room in certain situations. So I believe that he had already climbed down from his balcony to another floor and was trying to go again, and then he may have passed out, which eventually caused him to fall over to his death. Now, the thing with that also is they said that prior to, when he was in the lobby, that he had a fainting spell prior. So, with him consuming all the drugs and this, that, and the other, which apparently was supplied to him by people that work at the hotel. I even said that his parents need to sue, because after seeing that footage, it's like he could have been, his death could have been prevented if the right people would have been up in there doing a job, instead of you carrying him by his arms and legs to his room because he's acting erratic. Now, according to the reports, sources told Page Six that the singer was giving Cassidy, a 25-year-old social media influencer, 10 grand a month for living expenses, and also generously allowed her to use his credit card for clothing and other expenses, which regularly totaled around $25,000 a month. Now, Cassidy will also often go shopping with Payne's longtime stylist and friend Adele Canny, whose services were also funded by the singer. So yeah, so it should come as no surprise that it's like, okay, so these people up in here, you making money off of this celebrity, so y'all just going to run up his credit card. And I guess because Liam is the type of person that just, wants to be loved, feeling lonely, whatever the case is, that he's going to give this girl whatever she wants. Now, it also just kind of looks like that, oh, are you with Liam because you genuinely care about him? Or are you using him because you're an influencer and being in a relationship with this celebrity helps you out financially? This is no different than the whole thing what I was saying about Hugo and Khalid. That when you are the person who's an influencer of a sort, and trust, Hugo is an influencer, because not only does he do music, but he was also, he had the OnlyFans and all this other stuff, but he was with a celebrity, and the celebrity is like taking you around the world, and you go on shopping and you spending money, and his money, and you live in the life of luxury. So they also said that Cassidy started dating Payne in late 2022, and the couple had moved into a rental home in Wellington, Florida, only weeks before the 31-year-old star's tragic fall from the hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina on October 16th. Now, the couple's sprawling 5-bedroom home in Wellington, South Florida, however, went back on the market for $99.50 per month. That's $9,950 at the end of October. Well, damn, that's how much money you were spending on rent. Now, earlier this week, Cassidy was pictured leaving an apartment in London where she had been staying since Payne's passing in October. Now, in photos published by the Daily Mail, the influencer appeared downcast as a friend helped her load up her car with luggage ahead of her return to the U.S. Now, I do have that picture. So it's like, yeah, there goes her with the, I have to take a selfie. Take a selfie. You know how the Valley girl, you know how the white girls are with vocal fry. So they said that now before we go and call her a gold digger, I ain't saying she a gold digger. Shout out to Kanye. One of his good songs. They said that Kate, damn, I almost called her Kanye. Kate has money of her own, so it's not like she'll have nowhere to be. She doesn't have the money that Liam had, of course, but she's not broke. This is what a close friend of Cassidy told Page Six. She makes money through social media partnerships. She won't be living the same lifestyle she was living with Liam, but she's going to be okay. And yeah, it's like, it's just going to take her time to adjust because it's like, yeah, while you are an influencer and you're making money, influencing with all these deals, these brand deals, the good thing about the relationship is the fact that while you was with a big A-list celebrity, Liam Payne, you were benefiting in so many other ways. You had like this little stipend that you was making, and you pretty much could just go spend money, close to 10 grand on clothes. What kind of clothes was she buying that you need to be spending 10 grand? And they said that while Payne's multi-million-dollar will has not been made public, the friend insisted Cassidy would not try to claim a penny. Well, I don't think she would be able to because unless y'all were married, which she did say that they were engaged, then what pot what leg do you have to stand on in regards of trying to get any kind of financial compensation? So they said it's not hers to claim, of course. Payne's death causes a financial setback, but her sadness has nothing to do with the money. She said that she lost him. The money doesn't matter in comparison, but she'll have to move and regroup, and she'll find a new place to live as she heals. Now, she also had Damian Hurley, Liz Hurley's son, who was traveling with her as her date at the fume. And there goes Liz Hurley's son giving woman. It's all in her. Come on, you better. And with that win, that hair was just, how the girls do with the hair, like one of those Baywatch commercials or shampoo commercials. So now, what they said also now in regards of the update and the investigation into his death, it is still ongoing after hotel staffers were charged with supplying him drugs and a close friend was named as a person of interest in the case. Hotel reps did not make any comment, while the friend has denied any wrongdoing, telling the Daily Mail, saying, "I never abandoned him. I went to his hotel room 3 times a day and left 40 minutes before it happened. There were over 15 people at the hotel lobby chatting and joking with him when I left." Now, so that's basically where we are at this point. They also revealed, page 6, that Payne's family now has an Argentinian lawyer to ensure that family members can be named as potential plaintiffs in any case brought in relation to his death. So who knows? Maybe one of these days, once the more evidence and stuff comes out, do you think that Liam's family is going to sue? Because I feel like the way that the hotel handled the situation, I'd have filed a lawsuit. I mean, it's not going to bring your son back, but I would need closure in regards to that. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this latest story regarding Liam and all that good stuff? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so Ezra says, also pleasantly surprised to see Rhapsody on the list and glad Doechii is getting her flowers. Agreed, because I love Doechii's album. Or is it a mixtape or an EP? I don't know. I'll be so confused when they be calling stuff, because y'all be sitting out here talking about, oh yeah, an 8-track situation is the EP. I'm like, no, it's not. I think it's 6 or less is an EP. Anything over 6 tracks is an album. So, homophobe Duck Dynasty, Phil Robertson diagnosed. Thoughts and prayers. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on to our next topic and talk about Lizzo. It's been a minute since we talked about her, but it looks like she got some good news that's come her way because, according to reports, that case against her from the ex-stylist, Asha Daniels, who filed a lawsuit alleging she was, they said a sexualized, racially charged, and illegal work environment was going on while she was under Lizzo's employ. I believe, according to the reports, the case has been dropped. So, congratulations to her on that. Well, wait, what is going on? Because I'm like, oh, I forgot. Let me hold on, because I was just like, I was missing my picture. I was like, did I not do something right? But anyway, here we are. So And this was last September in 2023. So they said, while working for the Truth Hurts hitmaker, who's 36, Daniels also claimed that she had been physically and verbally abused by her manager, Amanda Nomura. It all comes after 1 year after Lizzo requested that a salacious and meritless harassment lawsuit be dropped. Now, the singer was met with another lawsuit in August of 2023 by 3 of her former backup dancers that accuse her of harassment, fat shaming, and a hostile work environment. However, Judge Fernando L. Anel Roca dismissed various claims made by Daniels against Lizzo's tour company, which also included allegations of unpaid overtime per page 6. The judge granted a partial motion to drop some of the claims due to Asha working for Lizzo in Europe and not in the United States. These allegations do not establish plausibility or any portion of plaintiff's claim arose from work performed in the U.S. or qualifying territories. This is what the judge said, according to the outlet. The judge added that Lizzo's former wardrobe assistant failed to provide evidence of overtime work during the star's Big Girl, Big Tour. A source told the New York Post that the songstress will continue to fight the false allegations against her, saying there's a reason that Lizzo continues to fight long after most public figures would have settled because these allegations are false and cannot be allowed to stand. She is not going to stop fighting until every single one of these ridiculous smears is dismissed, the insider continued. Now, while the performer will not be held liable for the harassment allegations, her tour company still faces the lawsuit. This is according to TMZ. Now, late last year, in December of 2023, Lizzo asked that the harassment and discrimination lawsuit made by her former tour stylist be dismissed. Her attorneys filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit from stylist and clothing designer Asha Daniels, calling her a disgruntled employee. So, now they said that the singer's legal team made a request, writing that the lawsuit is meritless and salacious as per the court documents obtained by People. Her attorney alleged that Daniels failed to perform the work that she was assigned and eventually just played hooky and refused to show up for work. The documents stated that Asha was let go after abandoning her post during Lizzo's concert in Paris, France. The attorney cited 2 reasons for the dismissal, one being that it was filed in the wrong location, and Daniels is a New York resident who worked for a Delaware corporation in Europe, and thus the designer has alleged no nexus to California. Now, in September of last year, Asha opened up about the singer's alleged sexualized, racially charged, and illegal work environment, claiming that she was physically assaulted, threatened, and told she wasn't allowed to eat by her manager. Well, maybe because she might have wanted some if you did that. So yeah, that's Asha who filed the charge. Now, in September of last year, Asha opened up about what it said. Daniels filed a lawsuit against Lizzo, alleging that she was physically and verbally abused by her manager, Amanda Nomura, while working for Lizzo 1 month after 3 backup dancers for the hitmaker made a series of shocking allegations against her. Asha spoke out about some of the horrible things that she says she endured during her time as one of Lizzo's employees during an interview with ABC News for an episode of the show Impact X Nightline. She alleged that Amanda not only said horrible things about her, but about the good as hell songstress as well. Amanda would regularly mock both Lizzo and the big girls. She would refer to them as fat, just a bevy of really inappropriate things like useless, lazy. She continued. Asha said that she was hired to design outfits for Lizzo and her dancers on this special tour earlier this year, but claimed she was wrongfully terminated just 2 weeks in. Now, at the time, Lizzo's spokesperson denied Asha's claims, pointing out that she never actually met or even spoke to the star. She sued for sexual and racial harassment in addition to disability discrimination. She also asked for damages, which include unpaid wages, loss of earnings, and others. Well, what disability she got that she's filing for this? Inquiring minds want to know, sis. But I think after this, we haven't really seen Lizzo out here performing or whatever. And I think they canceled her Watch Out for the Big Girl show. Now, We have the other story where it was about Crystal Williams, Noel Rodriguez, and Ariana Davis claimed that they were forced to attend degrading sex shows and were subjected to other uncomfortable situations while working for the star. Now, if all this stuff is true, this is why I always say, and you know what? This is not an excuse, but the industry is way different than how it is at like a regular job. So it's like when you work like a regular 9 to 5 type job, you're not going to take your fellow coworker or employee to a club and see a woman shooting ping pong balls out of cootie cat, unless you just one of those that's just really brazen in that way. But for the most part, in the entertainment industry, it's a lot looser and a lot different. Especially, I can tell you the times when I worked at when I was at VH1, the overall laxness of how it was there, I was like, oh, this is not like your typical corporate type job. So the energy is different when you're working in the entertainment world. So, but I'm like, yeah, I can understand like she's lonely or whatever the case is, but sis, you should not be running around here taking people that you work with to a nightclub because you want to see people doing sexual stuff, because you never know what people's level of freakdom is. It's like if I want to go to a sex club, it's like I'm not taking my assistant or my employees. I'm gonna go by myself so that way I could go and do my stuff, my dirt, and y'all ain't gonna throw it in my face. That's usually how I am anyway when it comes to doing certain things. It's like some of my friends be like, "Oh yeah, let's go to a certain type of party or sex club." Where it was like, "No, I'm good. I don't want you. I don't want to be up in there and all of a sudden I'm hunching in the corner, and not necessarily a corner, but I'm hunching, and I got you trying to come up in the situation." No, I like doing my dirt on my lonely, as they used to say back in the day. So I say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story? So congratulations, I guess, Lizzo, you've been vindicated in this part. Now, in regards to everything else, we'll just wait and see. And do y'all actually think that this is hurting her career? Actually, with because we haven't really seen her or anything. I mean, we've seen pictures of Lizzo online, losing weight and hitting the gym and all that other stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. You said Lizzo going on Casa. Oh, is she? Oh, you saying that she went on Constant Stream with Sizzle also did help her image brighten up a bit. And you know what? I feel like that may be the thing, because a lot of times when you go on these streaming channels or whatever, I think it does change people's opinions about you. It's like we get so caught up in the last thing you did. And I feel like if it's out of sight, out of mind, and people see you on a show and you being more personable or whatever the case is, then people are way more forgiving. And I think that came also from, because remember when she did that women's thing event, I forget the title, what it was called, and she went on there and the lady was trying to goop her by ask her, so what's I guess the latest on this case. She was like, my lawyers and stuff are handling right now. This is not something that I want to discuss. Basically saying this is not the time or the place. And people was getting mad over it. So, you said sex parties are too much for my introvertedness. Well, when I go to those, I'm very much come out of my introvertedness. Well, I've always said I'm an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. But anyway, speaking of people doing extroverted things, let's get into Azealia Banks, who was spilling tea about, apparently she said that she had sexual relations with none other than Aubrey Drizzy Drake Graham, which I was shocked but not surprised, because who hasn't he put their mouth on his meat? So the Harlem rapper made a shocking confession while chiming in on Drizzy's legal battle with Universal Music Group, when a Twitter user cheekily responded, "You want to suck Drake's D so bad, or that bad?" She fired back, "And did." I love when people say that. "And did and do what you got to say about it." Now, naturally, comments went amok with fans demanding she share details of receipts. Y'all are so damn nosy. So what y'all want, a video? Kind of like that video that Drake posted of him playing helicopter with his penis? When he was in, what was it? He was in like a tour bus or whatever the case was. Yeah, I seen that video. That video lives rent-free in my head. It's a nice little brown piece. So yeah, some people was like, when did this take place, Miss Banks? One curious follower asked, as another pleaded for her to spill the tea. A third person skeptically shut down the claim with a simple receipt or it didn't happen. Well, y'all always try to say that whenever y'all want to discredit something that somebody has done. Y'all always be quick to do that. So now the Chasing Time artist dropped the tidbit amidst her public support for Drake in his escalating legal battle with UMG. Now, as y'all remember, or need a refresher, Drizzy is accusing the label of shady tactics by using payola and streaming bots to boost Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us. Banks siding with Drake painted him as a mastermind in her Twitter rant. Now, before we get to that, like I already gave y'all my opinion the last time, which basically is like, okay, if they're using payola and streaming bots to boost Kendrick Lamar's diss track, I feel like in so many ways you telling yourself as well, because I'm sure that a lot of times when they were artists trying to, on they come up and you were UMG's golden boy, that they were doing the same stunts and shows to push you out there. But now that you want to move on up and get a piece of the pie, and UMG was like, oh hell no, you not. We're not giving you that. You decided to tap into your clear person side, channeling Caucasian realness, and now you want to sue. So one person wound up saying in one of the posts, said popular introvert on Twitter, said, and this is why I don't feel bad for Drake. For years he tried humbling other artists because the machine was behind him. Now he don't got the gun no more. He want to start crying. Nah, Playboy, stick the chest out still. With laugh emoji. Senator Azealia Banks jumped on the line, because I do have that tweet as well, and said the following. She said, oh, Drake definitely has the gun. He about to cook UMG and Spotify on some minor legal formalities and actually be the first rapper in history to stage a heist of such epic proportions. It's really such a lethal chess move when you really examine it. He's going to subpoena literally every platform's records. They will not be able to cook the books and discover, as in expose, all the shady back-end parts of music streaming no one really understands. Then they will have to prove that Drake is a pedophile. A PDF file, which would make UMG and Spotify look the R word, as if they even did. Kendrick is not going to be able to perform They Not Like Us, and Jay-Z is going to have to officially been bodied by a singing ninja. Everyone is going to gag at how he plays out, or as this plays out. It's better to watch and understand what's happening and then get emotionally involved or pick sides. We're about to watch the girls battle, honey. Yes! So yeah, now you're using gay lingo. Okay, sis. So yeah, so there may be a little bit of truth to what she's saying, but she also went and threw shade at K-Dot, claiming his diss track would backfire, while also taking a dig at Jay-Z in the process when she said what she said. But and I'm not going to sit up here and try to act like I understand all the ins and outs of the record industry, but there may be some points made in what she has about this. And I feel like at this point, all we can do is see it how it all plays out. And I do agree with her. It's better to watch to understand what's going on and just react to whatever Drake's filing is for this case against UMG. And if he could prove all the things that UMG was doing to get back at him allegedly because he wouldn't give UMG what they wanted. So now let's prop up Kendrick and push him out more. Even though he already had the diss track and because you was coming for him, he's like, oh no, you thinking you could just drag and do whatever to them other people, but I'm gonna come for your neck. And he did. And so now I guess what his part would be with UMG saying, well, let's push Kendrick a little bit because Drake pissed us off. And he's not in our good graces right now. So let's put all of our energy and machine and money behind this dude because the people are responding to They Not Like Us, and now Drake is feeling away. So now he's got to prove that it wasn't all just the people that were responding. There was some payola and bots and all kinds of scams and things going on in sunset shows. But we'll see how it all plays out as the story continues to develop, and I'll definitely be following it. So in the meantime, what do you guys think of this story? Do you agree with Azealia and her overall assessment in regards of her theories on Drake and what he's got cooking coming up against UMG. Quiet as it's kept says, I wish you would put all this energy into putting out your own music and your own business endeavors instead of trying to always jump in the conversation about what other people are doing. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now I don't think we have any comments. So let's move on and let's talk about Mariah Carey. Oh, child, there was a fight that broke out at her Christmas concert, which I'm cackling over this. So all Mariah Carey apparently wanted for Christmas was a peaceful holiday concert. But fans had something else in store for the pop star when they started throwing them bows during her show. So a fight broke out apparently during Carey's recent Christmas concert in St. Louis, Missouri, while the pop star was performing her holiday hit song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Now, there was a clip circulating all over the Twitter where a brunette woman could be seen pushing a blonde woman in the row in front of her, causing her to stumble. The blonde woman then flicked the remainder of her drink onto the other woman, who swatted back at her. Now, in another video, then you saw the men getting into it where they were trying to break it up, but then they started fighting each other. It's always some damn women that be getting into it, and then the men got to come in and defend the situation. So we do have the clip. Oh, wait, hold on. Because I was like, we do have the clip. Because, you know, I always got to come with a receipt. I almost opened the wrong damn thing. You go to my slides and PDF. Okay, here's one of the videos. He's like, where's she's showing in front of these little situation of this boy. And her friend would have jumped in and take the picture. And then let's go into this one where we're going to see the whole brawl up close and personal. These hoes. So yeah, they go fight right there. Two old men fighting. I'm like, who does this at a Mariah concert? Like y'all at y'all big age, y'all should not be doing that in no damn Mariah concert. So yeah, there's that. So what else? So somebody said, where the F is security? One person could be heard yelling in the background, which I'm sure y'all heard already. Now, the Queen of Christmas, as you know, is currently traveling on her Christmas time tour in celebration for the 30th anniversary of her 1994 Merry Christmas album and his lead single, All I Want for Christmas Is You. The five-time Grammy-winning singer kicked off the 20-date tour in Highland, California on November 6th. She is scheduled to hit several more American cities, including Boston, Massachusetts, Baltimore, Maryland, Raleigh, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Belmont Park, New York, before concluding in Brooklyn, New York on December 17th. So Belmont Park, New York, that's the UBS arena that she's doing. She's not even doing the Garden this year. She did it last year. And then I believe she's doing the Barclays Center. Whatever. Now, in 2021, the 55-year-old pop star made history when All I Want for Christmas Is You became the first and only holiday song to win the RIAA Diamond Award, which recognizes 10 million sales and streaming units in the U.S. Now, during the ceremony, she said that the continued love for her song never ceases to amaze me and fill my heart with a multitude of emotions. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, and I actually went and bought her Merry Christmas album on cassette. And because I was like, when I was in middle school, whatever, my teacher, Mr. Lightfoot, introduced me to Mariah Carey. He like recorded her whole album, her debut album, on a cassette tape. And I was like, that was the first time I ever heard her. I don't know, I guess because I was musically inclined and all this other stuff. He just like made the tape for me. And so I listened to it, ran that cassette tape into the ground. And so I loved early Mariah. And I remember when that Christmas album came out, it was like every Christmas when I was a kid, we would basically play the album throughout the house while we were opening up our Christmas presents and we were doing Christmassy things. You know, Christmas is not my favorite holiday. It's Halloween, which is, you know, gay Christmas. But I just loved that album. And the great thing about that album is that while you know, when you look at Christmas stuff, people always kind of get up in there and create their own Christmas albums, and they sing the same freaking songs over and over and over and over and over again, and it gets tedious. But the good thing about Mariah is she recorded original Christmas stuff, and look at the money she's accumulating every year from a song that she wrote and creating on her own. So that's like a good coin coming in from that, instead of just being like, well, yeah, I'm singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, that's not my song, or these other Christmas songs. So in so many ways, like, she did popularize it. She is the queen of Christmas. So she can just be singing that. She can just be surviving off them Christmas songs for the rest of her life. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are regarding this brawl that happened at a Mariah Carey concert, something I never thought in the history of me doing any of this pop culture stuff that I would be discussing a fight breaking out at a Mariah concert. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so now, like you said, I did not imagine not two elder gays, but well, they said, well, they was with women, or maybe they were gay. They just came with female companions. Yeah, that's the ultimate gag. Like, I showed you two older people rather than children. But you said the death of Liam has brought the boys of One Direction closer. I hope so. Look, it's the same thing that happened with Sarah Harding and Girls Aloud. Like, it just seems like it should not take a tragedy. Shout out to the Bee Gees. It should not take a tragedy for people to come together. It shouldn't. So work things out while y'all still got breath in your body. You said next July will be their 15. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, my damn. Time flies. 15-year anniversary for One Direction. Shout out to them. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Miss Jennifer. Because Jennifer Garner, apparently, according to reports, basically, Ben Affleck's was Jennifer Garner his first and only wife? I think she was. Jennifer Lopez, the only one that's been married a multitude of times. But anyway, so his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, reportedly persuaded him to work on things with Jennifer before, excuse me, the Benefit 2.0 divorce, which is where we are now, because they're still married, but they're separated. And then Jennifer filed for divorce. So according to Page 6, who had this story, they said when things started getting rocky between Ben and Jennifer, Jen was very supportive of their relationship and encouraged Ben to work on their marriage. The going on 30 actress, who's 52, had even become friendly with Jennifer, and they were communicating on a regular basis. However, Page 6 learns that Garner has not been in touch with Lopez, who's 55, recently, though she has no problem with Jennifer. Now, at the end of the day, she just wants Ben to be happy. This is what, according to a source. Now, a rep for Garner did not immediately respond to Page 6's request for comment. Now, the former couple, Jesus, I'm gonna need a core drop, child. They said how, blah, blah, blah. I lost my spot now. Oh, they said a former couple who called it quits on their 10-year marriage in 2015. She had 3 children: Violet, who's 18, Serafina, who's 15, and Samuel, who's 12. Now, despite Garner's efforts, La Lopez, who's 55, filed for divorce from Affleck on the 2nd anniversary of their Georgia wedding ceremony, which they held after eloping in Las Vegas on July 17th, 2022. And I think maybe that all stems from the fact that, apparently she was trying to make it work, or maybe, I don't know. But the way that the tea was being spilled, it always seemed like Ben always looked like he was just over it. He always looks like that. Because there was something about recently, I saw a post on the Daily Mail, but I was like, I don't think that this story is enough to even like garner as a story. I feel like it was a non-story, not this one, but what I'm about to say. That Jennifer is out currently looking for she's house hunting. And it was saying something or another that Ben looked like he was not in the best mood, whatever. And I was like, well, how is it different than any other day? Because every time we see Ben Affleck, he always looked like he's got a huge Frito on his shoulder. He always looks like he's got an attitude, that he's mad at the world. He always looks like a grumpy old man, and he needs a cigarette, which he smokes, and then the coffee. So you can imagine what that breath smell like. Because if you around somebody all day that just be smoking and drinking coffee, whatever, it's like, I can't. So as previously reported, Garner and Affleck reunited on Thanksgiving as they partnered up with Midnight Mission to help feed 2,000 homeless and near homeless people before feasting together at Garner's Brentwood, California home with their 3 kids. Now, source told Page Six at the time that the Oscar winner felt blessed to surround himself with Garner and their children on Thanksgiving following his separation from Lopez, which, has garnered rumors that they're trying to get back together or whatever the case is. I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe that they had their marriage and it did what it did at the time, but I don't think Jennifer Garner, unlike Jennifer, is interested in going backwards in her situations. It's like, we have 3 kids together, we share a family, it is what it is, and that's what it is. And I feel like, although Jennifer goes kind of spin it any way she wants in regards of we're a blended family of sorts, which they were, Ben's biological children is over there with Jennifer Garner. So he's always going to be forever attached to her. This is what I say about any kind of relationship. It's like, yeah, you could blend the families, but he's always going to have that connection to Jen Garner because they have 3 kids together. So he's always going to be running over there and doing things with her, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. And it's been interesting that it's like, how is Jennifer and Ben making it work with her being over there? Because it's like, does Jen Garner come over for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever? Do y'all blend all of that together? Because if I got kids with her, I be wanting my kids over here to spend time with me, and we got to make it work in a way where it's like, yeah, Jen can come over to the house or whatever the case, because we got to make it work with that. I don't know how she do it with Mara. I don't know what her relationship is with him, but in regards to this, I'd have been like, yeah, we got to figure out a whole, okay, we do Thanksgiving this year, and then Christmas is something else, and then we flip it and reverse it and all that stuff. So that's cute or whatever that Jim was trying to intervene and make sure that Ben was happy and had him do whatever. But apparently there was something that was going on that he was just like, you know what? I'm trying to make it work, whatever the case is, and it's just not working. Maybe it's dealing with a lot of the brand of, or the whole idea of Jennifer is too much for a regular blue-collar Bostonian type of dude like a Ben Affleck wants to deal with. He doesn't like all the pomp and circumstance and the paparazzi and all that other stuff. But sir, it comes with the job. You can't only just have the perks of being a famous person or an A-lister and not take the bad with the good. It's how we keep our world balanced. So let me know what you guys think of this story in regards of, Jen intervening and trying to help out with the marriage of, making sure that Ben is happy in his marriage or working out whatever drama he had with Jennifer in the comments down below. Okay, now let's get into some gay news and let's talk about Tank, who recently did an interview with the Holding Court podcast. And I did put the clip on the video on my page. I think it's a 17-minute video. And he basically opened up, because there's I think they put it in parts. So from what I saw, it was in 3 parts or whatever. Which I always think is a good way to try to swallow a show. Unless a podcast is so good, I'm I could sit through the hour. So basically, he opened up about the complex relationship between Black men and homosexuality. So now, during a recent appearance on the Holding Court podcast, the Please Don't Go crooner spoke on the double standard Black men face in terms of same-sex experimentation, saying it's us. This is what he began. I would show the clip, but I don't know if I'm going to get flagged or whatever, so I'm going to just give you all the notes. He said there's something about Black men in the homosexual conversation that is a mess. The phobia is, as it relates to Black men, is the elephant in the room. He argued that the worst thing a Black man can be is gay. And in the Black community, yes, that's true. And I think also this is the conversation that need to be had in regards of when you get Black gays who get mad when Black gays go to white men and they mix their races or whatever. Oh, you thinking you better because you gonna run over there with those white men. But it's because there's that internalized homophobia. There's the church religion that indoctrinates a lot of our thought process process where we don't feel comfortable being our true, authentic homosexual self. So a lot of times, the black men like a Don Lemon or a Billy Porter or those types who are deemed effeminate or obvious black gay men go over to white men because when they look at that world, white men are out and proud of who they are, and they could be that. Of course, you know, we can get into the conversation about, well, they're always going to be white first before they're gay. But we're looking at the whole emphasis of the fact that when you are a homosexual, you get, you know, and white, you can go off and be your true authentic self. They get to go to the clubs, they get to go and do all this other stuff. But I know there's also black men who don't want to, or gay men who don't want to get caught up in the whole label because they don't embody those characteristics, meaning they're not watching RuPaul's Drag Race. They're not doing all these other stereotypes. They're not, you know, all about the drag queens and going out to the bars and the clubs. They'll probably go to a sports bar, and we do have gay sports bars, especially in New York. Shout out to the Gym Bar. My friend Diego works there as a bartender. He's been there for years. So he also explained, he said the first thing somebody is going to allude to, whether you are gay or not, when they're trying to assassinate your character or get off the highest joke imaginable, they're going gay first. This is what the father of two said, and then he continued. He said it stems from something within our culture that has created this stigma that somehow there's a program to make black men gay. You see it everywhere. There's an attack on strong black men. But who's that attack coming from? Us? Well, not me, but it comes from black folks, particularly a lot of black women. Y'all be the main ones whenever a guy talk about, oh, he like, because look, we talked about it with Ray J. He like his ass ate. Oh, well, that's gay. But if a woman put her face between his clean cheeks, and you said he cleaner, but I don't trust. I'm sorry, but I don't trust you straight men when they talk about how y'all wipe y'all behind. I really don't. No shade. I don't. But when it comes down to it, it's like, as long as a woman's doing it too, if a woman's pegging you in your behind, it's not gay. If a woman's eating your ass, it's not gay. And I even think like if you experiment or you like sex with men, I don't think that makes you gay. I feel like gay is the word gay. This is why I don't like the word gay. I prefer queer, which I know once upon a time queer was seen as a derogatory word. It's not anymore. It's kind of like when we've taken back the word bitch, we've taken back the N word, we've taken back all these other words that were continued. I mean, were perceived as negatives. And when I look at queer, I don't see that as a negative. I always saw it as like unusual, unique, different, which I'm all for. I don't like to conform. I don't want to be like everybody else. I like standing out and being myself. And I've always pushed for that. First of all, I've been using the word queer since like the 2000s. I think it was like when Queer as Folk came out, I started embodying the word. And I think that Queer as Folk took power in that word by using it because it was deemed a derogatory word. But I do agree with that. It's sort of like whenever you want to assassinate somebody's character, the worst thing to do is call them gay. The worst thing to do is call them that. Or if a guy said they want to experiment or do something sexual, y'all are quick to call somebody that. So then he pondered how the double standard could exist when the likes of Prince, Michael Jackson, Cameo, and Rick James were notorious for their androgynous looks, noting that meant you were in. It didn't mean you were gay. And that is so true because when I was growing up in the 80s, people looked at Prince. They didn't look at what he was doing was gay. Now, today, y'all would because y'all call every damn thing that ain't this perceived idea of masculinity gay. But when we looked at people like Michael Jackson and Cameo and Rick James, when they stood up, Rick James had that beady beads in his hair. Y'all didn't call that gay. Or Stevie Wonder even had that look at one point with the braids with the beads. Or there was an overall certain looks that men embodied, especially like in the 70s, the flamboyance of people's fashions. Y'all probably would call Parliament Funkadelic gay based off of what they look. Y'all call everything gay. Y'all even be calling people wiping their ass gay. This is why I said I don't trust you heterosexuals when they come to talk about how y'all clean y'all behind. Because every little thing y'all say, y'all equate it with being gay. And everything is not gay. Now, if somebody comes out and tells you that they are, then that's what it is. But I just feel like it's just laziness. So then he also questioned, he said, where does this agenda come from? I've never seen anything that made us say, oh, wow, I want to be gay. I'm inspired to be gay because I saw that outfit or because YSL made this shirt. Now, also, this conversation did stem from when he did appear back in 2019, because I remember this, when he went on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast. And he was asked if performing fellatio twice would make someone gay. Of that notion, Tank stated, it doesn't mean he's gay, it means he sucked dick twice. The art of being gay is being gay. It's a continuous state of being. And that's why I said, like, the word, I think I meant to get to that before I started going on my little queer tangent. Gay to me is like just some white word that's used for white folks. When y'all want to give a label to whatever it is your existence or a part of a community that you're a part of. So sort of like the lifestyle or the life that you live in, because I hate the term lifestyle, because to me, when y'all use the way y'all use lifestyle, a lot of you bigots, to me, I feel like when y'all use the word lifestyle, it feels like that being gay is a choice. And to me, it's not. Nobody, like Tank said, and I've always been saying this, nobody wakes up in the morning and is like, you know what? I want to suck a dick today. Like, nobody gets up and does that. Some people just are who they are. And it's just a part of life. Same-sex attraction is a part of life. It's in animals. And we are mammals, last I checked. Don't believe it? Google schmoogle. This is why I always said, like, a lot of you fools that dropped out of school, and why our educational system is a mess. Because even the simplest of things, y'all don't understand. So, kudos to Tank for, being brave enough to speak out about this. And I really wish that more Black heterosexual men, or especially Black men who are heterosexual and comfortable in their skin, would speak out and have these conversations. Now, if you're a little too slow and obtuse to really garner this conversation, then this ain't for you. But as someone who just like, well, look, I guess I would be considered gay or whatever, because I do like the world of, what's the word? I do like drag queens and RuPaul's drag, but I have a lot of drag queen friends. So while I like all that stuff, I do like sports and I like all the other things too. So I don't feel like we are a monolith, that we all have different things that we like and things that we subject to. And I don't think that, because you put a peen in your mouth a couple of times or you topping dudes or whatever, that makes you gay. Some people just get bothered by the label. It's like, I'm just me. I just like having sex with men, but I don't want to embody that word gay, because gay is a term or a label that you're putting on people. And not everybody wants to run around being labeled by things, because what that means is, I do all these stereotypes that our society has put into place that's saying that these are the things that you need to be or do to be considered a homosexual. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to Tank talking about homophobia within the gay agenda or the gay agenda in the Black community? Because I do hate when I go on social media and I see that whenever we talk about anything that got to do with LGBT stuff or any kind of queer topics, and this is why I don't like a lot of times when the neighborhood talk, which is run by a homosexual, last I checked, but all the homophobia that I be seeing in the comments, I'll be like, how is this allowed? Like, I would be blocking bitches. But then again, when you got a lot of people in your comments, it's hard to just be, who wants to go through all of that blocking? You be the whole day. So let people argue it out in the social media comments. But it's like when the neighborhood talk or the shade room or other places be talking, and then it's just like, I already know what this damn comment section is going to give. Because it's like, y'all want to talk about an agenda, or we trying to make fetch happen, or we trying to convert or whatever. We ain't like the Jehovah's Witnesses or Scientology or all these other crazy ass religions that y'all belong to, where y'all believe in these crazy ass sky daddies or whatever the case is. It's like, we're not out here trying to force our sexuality on us. We just want to live our lives. Now, when y'all want to talk about church, well, y'all be doing that with the religion. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Ooh. Hey, Sailor Mermaid said, hey, yo, child, they think everything is good. Who you telling? However, I do find that straight fascination and obsession over us and what we do very funny and interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'll be sitting there wondering, like, why y'all so, it's like that Mariah Carey. So why are you so obsessed with me? Like, why y'all always worrying about what we doing in the bedroom? And was, any little thing that got to do with gay, y'all just be worrying so much about what we got going on. Of course, I'm familiar with Shirley Q. Liquor, who I know today RuPaul will get dragged for Shirley Q. For those who are not familiar, and Shirley Q. Liquor has appeared on quite a few of RuPaul's earlier records. I think Shirley Q. Liquor is on Red Hot, which I actually love that album. I think that was like RuPaul's best work. That was pre Drag Race when then they started doing all that. We got to make songs based off the show and all that stuff. But yeah, Shirley Q. Liquor was a white drag queen who did blackface. And so it was a lot of that. So a lot of people didn't particularly care for. I mean, I didn't see it as an issue, but maybe it was probably because back then I wasn't really familiar with the history of blackface when I was younger. So, but yeah, that would be considered problematic today. Okay, so what's our next topic? Ooh, the story of the hour. Let's get into some Grindr talk. Excuse me. So Grindr, shout out to them. You know, they're out here doing the Lord's work by rewarding a bunch of hunky men compiled from cultural trends, sexual habits, and other juicy stats about their users. Now, shout out to Pink News for this story. So, dating app Grindr has released its Unwrapped 2024 year in review, including Pedro Pascal beating out Jonathan Bailey and Bad Bunny for hottest men of the year. And it's well deserved because I already know. I already said that Pedro Pascal could sit on my damn face and take away my oxygen. Okay, because that is a sexy ass man. I know some people just be like, I don't see the appeal in Pedro Pascal. I don't see what's so good. It's not about whether he's good. He's got those Hollywood handsome looks, but he exudes a sexiness. And don't get me wrong, Jonathan Bailey's a hottie too. Like some people talk about he was on Bridgerton or whatever. I don't watch Bridgerton. That is not my cup of tea. I don't sit up in here and watch nothing about royal families or period piece stuff. That is not my zhuzh. However, I know him from Fellow Travelers, and he gave me my life in that damn show with Matt Bomer fine ass. So that's where I know him from, and I know he's in the new Wicked movie. So there's that. So they said, we know, we're sorry about the headline, apart from we're not really at all. Now, Grindr has released its yearly recap with a nice pun on Spotify Wrapped called Unwrapped and unveiled a positive avalanche of surveys, stats, and percentages. In other words, the reason why data journalism was invented. Well, we're also going to go through the surveys and all that other stuff that's going on with the gays we're paying attention to in the past year. So, as well as other countries that have the highest number of daddies, Why Charlie XCX was the top album of the year for bottoms. Users' favorite porn stars and where all the femtops are at App has also conducted a survey on who our crushes are. So now in fifth place for hottest men of the year was the Bear star Jeremy Allen White. Actually, let's go through the list where I saw on Instagram. So in regards of, so we'll get into all the celebrity stuff. So what they said was Missionary was the winner in regards of position of the year. Number 5 was Spooning. Number 4 was Aside. Number 3 was 69. Number 2 was Backshots. And number 1 was Missionary. Well, child, we love Missionary over here. Now, highest percentage of hung bottoms. You know, we love a list over here, especially we're going to talk about homosexual stuff. So number 5 was Switzerland. Number 4 is Brazil. Number 3 was Germany. Number 2 was Canada. And number 1 is France. Well, child, I'm about to buy me first of all, oh yeah, they said hung bottoms. So I'm going to France because you French, if y'all over there taking it up the bud, but y'all got all that meat between me down there, then y'all are definitely up my alley in regards of the hung bottom tees. Now, the next one, they said the highest percentage of sides. So they talking about more sides in a buffet. Number 5 would be Australia. That'd be people that I guess like to, what's this size like no sex? It's like y'all hug, y'all like to cuddle and all that other stuff. So number 5 is Australia. Number 4 is New Zealand. Number 3 is Japan. Number 2 is Philippines. And number 1 is Singapore. Why is it that the Asian spot is always at the top? Now, they said that most popular tags displayed on Grindr would be, and then they called y'all a bunch of damn label whores. So, most popular tags displayed: discreet, bi, friends with benefits, kissing, and oral. Now, most popular tag search would be hung, trans, BB. Y'all know what BB is. Dom, and feet. Let me find out y'all like feet. Okay. Now, they said want more, link in bio. So there's in regards to that. So we have the list and stuff in regards to that. Let me look for that for y'all. I got a lot of windows open in regards to this. So they said in fifth place for hottest man of the year was the Bear star Jeremy Allen White, who just below Travis Kelce in fourth and Bad Bunny in third. And then of course you have number two would be Jonathan Bailey. Number one would be Pedro Pascal. So that meant that Pedro Pascal topped Jonathan Bailey, and good for them. Now, the Wicked Star placed second among the app's users, while Everyone Cool Slutty Daddy swooped into the top spot. Now, Grindr Unwrapped also crowned 2024's Baby Girl of the Year with Troye Sivan on top, pun intended. In second, it was Shawn Mendes with Jacob Elordi in third and Lil Nas X in fourth. The Challengers boys, i.e. Josh O'Connor and Mike Faced, were placed doubles in fifth. Now, the gayest gayborhood of the year was Soho, London. Best gay power couple were crowned as Holland Taylor and Sarah Paulson. Okay. And the gays gagged the most over the Olympic French pole vaulters conspicuous pole. Now, for anyone needing a reminder of the above, they said Anthony Amirati's Olympic dreams were dashed. Yeah, we know when he jumped over the thing and his peen hit the pole. So they got the full rundown, and I know I have that open. So let me see if I could, because I ain't gonna push. Oh, they said total chart sent. Do I need to refresh it? Or is it Charlie XCX's Mother of the Year? Why is it not like pausing? Because I wanted to see like the full list. Total chat sent 130 billion plus endless chats. Now, hottest man of the year, they said was Pedro Pascal. Baby girl of the year, we already did that. They said Charlie XCX was number one. Mother of the year with Gaga at 2, Beyonce at 3, Chaperone at 5, and Celine Dion at 4. And top total album share 2 billion, Pass Around Party. Total tap sent 9.5 billion. And highest percentage of bottoms, number one is South Africa. So yeah, there's that. And so if y'all definitely want to go check all of that out, you could definitely head over to grindr.com//unwrapped, where it gives you like the full effect and the whole list of who is what. So there you have it. So regarding this story, what are your thoughts on Grindr and their lists of the year? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so absolutely. And I pretty much, yeah, I said that in my post. It's like, you know what, or my assessment of it, it's a lot of times it is the black women who are the most homophobic. They be the main ones that it's like whenever you say something, they quick to call you the F word, sissy, punk, bitch, all these other words. I want to call you out your name. And the ones that they do it to are the ones that think that these girls are their friends. The minute you step out of line, they be quick to call you these names. So it's not even like the men for the most part. I think a lot of times straight men be feeling a way of wanting to have gay friends, because I trust and believe I have a lot of straight friends, male friends, and they have no problems. But it's like when you have girls, the girls be getting in the way where it's like they get mad at their male straight friends or their boyfriends, whatever, for having a friendship with a gay guy, thinking that the gay guy is trying to sleep with them. But trust and believe, I don't sleep with my straight friends because they're straight. Like, I'm not somebody that goes around trying to, I'm trying to corrupt your man, or all those stereotypes that we was talking about before. Like, you out here trying to recruit people like y'all do with your religions, when y'all go door to door with them damn pamphlets. John Waters calling Joker 2 the film of the year. I'm not surprised. The king of trashy movies will love it. Can't be especially one of the worst films of 2024. He said, I'm asking because I found her personal YouTube page and she was posting archives and making racist collages about the Obamas and people holding a Confederate flag. She made a weird vid about RuPaul. Oh, did she? I may have to I may have to watch that, but it said, yeah, RuPaul said people who found Shirley offensive stupid. Well, I wonder. Well, I have to say, look, um, I wonder how RuPaul feels about that now. Maybe it was different back in the day, but I was like, yeah, because some people think that RuPaul's another one that kind of just goes against her own damn people. Because remember when she wore the Confederate flag dress and two on foot, but that was a character she was playing because she was playing Rachel Tension. That was her drag name. So when you play in a character, I give you a slide. But if you're out here defending um, white folks doing racist humor, I don't like that. Oh, you said sides do oral. I thought they did something else. What is baby girl? Probably just baby girl. Baby girl. You know that song where they used to call Aaliyah baby girl all the time? Sometimes it's like, I don't even know what the hell that means. I don't even think it said it in the article. TBF, some of these men be on the DL and be two-timing them and use them as their beard, not making any. Well, that's a different side of it because there are guys out here who do the beard thing. So I do agree with that. There are some men that just be like, "Oh yeah, that's my best friend." Meanwhile, you actually low key hunching. But I don't do that because I'm not sleeping with nobody. I don't, I close my legs to marry men. I ain't Kim Zolciak. But anyway, let's get into our final topic and shout out to our magazine because they did a list of 40 best queer songs of 2024. So we'll go through it and see if y'all agree with this list. I don't remember exactly who it was that was up in there because then I was going to give my comments. But anyway, so the other day they did the thing with Prime, not Prime, with Spotify with their list of songs. I recently did mine on my Apple Music. I think I need to post it on my other streaming on my other platforms. Like I'm gonna put it on Blue Sky and I'm gonna put it on Twitter. I should probably also put it on Instagram, but I only posted on Facebook of like how many hours of music because you could do it on Apple too. I think I still have the photos because I tell y'all now. It said that I listened to 26,856 minutes of music. And it was showing like Lady Gaga, Marilyn Manson, a bunch of other people. Top artist was Madonna, of course, Madonna, with 557 minutes. I was listening to her. And it said my top artist, 2,470 total artists. That's how many people I listened to in 2024. So number 5 comes Floor Plan with 341 minutes. Number 4, because I told you I listen to DJs a lot. Number 4 was Purple Disco Machine with 433 minutes. Number 3, Kylie Minogue with 461 minutes. You know I had to listen to Mother. And Mother number 2. And number 2, I had Charlie XCX with 546 minutes. And number 1 with Madonna with 557 minutes. So yeah, that was all the time. And I'm glad y'all accumulated all of that because I don't be having the time to sit up here and think about that. So anyway, so it says, a shout out to Out. They said 2024 was a fantastic year for queer music because while they did the whole Spotify thing where you had, and I did see an article that they did, they said that there weren't really any queer artists that were like the top Spotify streams, except if we're going to talk about Billie Eilish and Chapel Roan. They're the only two that were kind of like getting a lot of the big streams. But like it was stated earlier in the show, they have a huge female following, so they're gonna get those big streams. So basically, I'll put together their top 40 songs by queer artists released in 2024. Now I want to see if I know any of these. So they said number 40, All Girls Go to Heaven by Zelita. I have no idea who that is. But if y'all know, let me know in the comments. Number 39, Cowboys are frequently secretly fond of each other by Orville Peck, featuring Willie Nelson. That's actually a cover from Willie Nelson. It's cute, but we can move on. Number 38, Reason Why, Sophie featuring Kim Petras and BC Kingdom. But that's from Sophie's posthumous album. I did like that song. I like the album. It's such an abstract record. But to be honest, I only listened to it maybe twice, so I don't even remember what the song sounds like. Number 37, FML, Toa Bird. I don't have any idea who that is, but they said that they do rock and roll. So, okay. And it was saying Tower Bird's rock and roll queerness is on full display More queer artists should have this kind of edge. Well, I feel like queer artists should be edgy in general, but I just be feeling like a lot of you queer artists just want to blend in instead of standing out. So 36, Hawk Moon, Hooray for the Riff Raff. Hooray for the Riff Raff. I have no idea who that is or what that song is, so I guess we can move on from there. Number 35, Beaches, B Badu B. I have no idea who this girl is either, but they said she's a bisexual singer-songwriter. Be da ba do be da ba do bay. I guess that's one of her songs or whatever. I don't know who the hell she is. Now 34 I agree with, but maybe it could have been higher. So they said Heat by Tove Lo and SG Lewis. Now I do like that song. And I definitely love that she collaborated with SG Lewis on that EP. There was a lot of great songs on that record. Like, even though it's 4 tracks, I listened to like every song on that album is a bop. Now they said 33 is Soup by Remy Wolf. I've heard of Remy Wolf, but I'm not really familiar with her stuff. Number 32, What I Gotta Do by Jeremy Pope. Now, of course, I know Jeremy Pope because Jeremy Pope fine as hell. And you know, Jeremy Pope was on Pose, the final season. He played Blanca Man. And he's been on a bunch of Ryan Murphy projects. But the thing is, I'm not really familiar with a lot of Jeremy Pope stuff. Speaking of Blanca, I wonder if Michaela J is on this list because she did release an album this year. Now, 31, they said Spite by Omar Apollo. Now, I do like Omar Apollo's latest album. He has a pretty good, he has a lot of pretty good songs on his record, but I do like the Spite song, though. They said 30, Feel Away by Kaytranada featuring Don Toliver. Now, I don't know if y'all heard, but yeah, when I do my favorite albums of the year, Kaytranada's Timeless is definitely going to be on the list. So probably in my top 15. And then he worked with Don Toliver, and everything that Kaytranada touches is epic anyway. So I love the song. Now, 29, Nissan Altima by Doechii. Now, y'all already know how I feel about Doechii because I talked about her earlier when we were talking about the top female rappers of 2024. I definitely like this song, and I like her album. Speaking of which, where is LaKaylee 47? Because I like her stuff too. And I just love her flow and her cadence, especially like when she switches up a lot of what she does. So they said number 28, Face the World by Baby Tate. I'm not familiar with Baby Tate. 27, Boa by Megan Thee Stallion, where she's sampling Gwen Stefani, on that song. And she's got a lot of songs that are like snake related. So number 26, Baddie on the Floor, Jamie XX and Honey Dijon. Now, I live for Honey Dijon in regards of a lot of her mixes and things that she does. Like, she gives me my life when it comes to her style of house music. And Jamie XX, while I won't say that he had a lot of great songs, the album I felt like was a mixed bag for me. I definitely liked some of the songs on the album, and Baddie on the Floor is one of them. And it's probably because he collaborated with Honey Dijon on it. So number 25, they said Joyride by Kesha. Now, I know Kesha also released another song. I forgot the name of the damn song, but I was like, oh, it's cute. But Joyride. I do like that song. It was a cute song. And she came out, she recently released like a new music video around it too. So, and I know she's releasing music independently and stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to, if she is planning on putting it out an album in 2025, on what that would sound like. But I'm definitely, I do like Joyride, even though the song didn't really go anywhere. It is a bop. And it's kind of giving us old school Kesha, but it's like it's like for 2024. So it's updating the sound without her having to work with Dr. Luke. So number 24, they picked Talk Talk featuring Troye Sivan and Charlie XCX. Now, I do like the song, but after a while, I got tired of hearing it because it was just everywhere. And then there was like different remixes and stuff. And then my phone, whenever I'm listening to like music, whatever, it always shuffles on that song. So I'm like, after a while, I'm tired of it. But it is a good song, and I do like when Charlie and Troy collaborates. So number 23, they said Lucky by Halsey, which I know she got in trouble with that because I think Britney Spears made a little side comment about that when Halsey collaborated or did, sampled it. Number 22, Small Town Scandal by Zolita. I'm not familiar with her, but they said she's a lesbian pop singer. Okay, I'll take your word for it. So then number 21, Take Your Vibes and Go by Keto, Kahlo, Brazy, and Bauer. The only one on there I'm familiar with is Bauer. So this says one of the best dance tracks of the year comes from Australian producer DJ Keto with Nigerian rapper Brazy and American rapper Kahlo. It's an oh, okay. As they said, it's an international bomb. I was like, what song is that? So number 20, they said Trust with Rebecca Black. Now I will say this. It's no shade, but I remember I saw that song, that video with Rebecca Black. I'm like, well, this is a new direction that she's going into. She was giving Lady Gaga. She was giving very much Lady Gaga, Ava Max, that whole vibe, like very extravagant choreography, crazy looks, and all the other stuff. And I was like, okay, we see the reinvention because she's come a long way from Miss Friday. But it was, if Gaga ain't doing that whole zhuzhification doing all her anymore, somebody might as well bring it into the 2024. I know they're trying to say that she's going to be doing that with Disease, but that's more like the darker direction. So now number 19, we got another Omar Apollo song called Dispose of Me. And this is from his album God Said No, which is a cute song. And this is Omar getting in his feelings and talking about heartbreak and all the other stuff. And, I like the song. So then number 18, another song with Doechii, and this time is her collaboration with JT Alter Ego. And even though, yeah, like GloRilla got the top spot, and rightfully so, with Billboard as top female rapper, Doechii definitely has been doing her thing this year as well. So congratulations to her. Number 17, New Woman, Lisa featuring Rosalia. That was a cute song. Speaking of Lisa, because isn't she from that group with Rose, Blackpink? Here's the thing. I actually listened to Rose's album today, and I totally forgot that Rose came out with an album until I was checking my my Apple stuff, and it was like new music. And I said, wait, let me check and see if Rose album out. Okay, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed Rose's record. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to most of it. And majority of the songs, and I'm like, okay, this is like some good pop songs. So she's definitely got I can definitely see this girl definitely doing her thing. I don't know why I said isn't she from Blackpink? Of course she's from Blackpink. Lisa's from Blackpink, and Rose is from Blackpink, and they're both doing their solo thing. So, but Rose's definitely got the stuff. So number 16, they said After Hours by Kalani. Now the funny thing was, you know what? That's funny how like the queer blogs and stuff always be trying to push Kalani. I could never for some reason get into her. But if y'all like it, I love it. Now, number 15, Mamushi, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Yuki Chipa. I do like that song, and I like how she stop, 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 stop. I do like how she brought him out on the VMAs, and then also I like the video, and I love the fact that she pays homage to Asian culture without culturally appropriating it, I guess was the word I was looking for. So they said number 14, The Wizard and I by Cynthia Erivo. Well, you know, I haven't not seen this movie yet. I have not seen Wicked. Y'all already know my thoughts on it. I don't need to keep bringing it up every time I do this show. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait until the movie comes out on the thing and I'll check it out. So, while Defying Gravity, everybody goes for that, all the other songs. But they said The Wizard and I was like, people love it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. Number 13, As Good as It Gets by Katie Gavin and Mitski. Katie Gavin is from Muna. They have some pretty good songs, but I'm not familiar with this song. I didn't even know this. I feel like y'all just trying to be pretentious with this list. Like, why haven't y'all brought up some people like, who's queer that put out music this year? Why haven't they put in like, Jordy? They haven't put in, like there's a bunch of queer pop artists that have put out music this year. I know we ain't gonna say, Tom Asphalt, why haven't we put him in there? La Cruz, who's another one, who's a Latin queer artist who does reggaeton. Why haven't we put him in there? Y'all bringing these people. I'm like, I don't listen to these people. And then y'all just pulling songs out y'all behind from Oh, GloRilla, and then Doshi and Omar. Y'all picking multiple songs from them. But this y'all list, yeah. They said number 12, Wanna Be GloRilla featuring Megan Thee Stallion, which is a good song. Number 11, Guess featuring Billie Eilish by Charlie XCX featuring Billie Eilish. Well, that's a good song. I do like the song. I do like the video. Now, number 10, Denial is a River by Doshi. So another damn song from her record. Number 9, Disease by Lady Gaga. So they said Dance Pop Gaga came back in a big way this year with this club banger that sounds like her early eras. While Joker 2 might have been a big disappointment, this song was not. And I do agree. I know some people feel a way, excuse me, about Disease. I actually like the song. I don't feel the ways about it. I'm like, yeah, it's classic Gaga, but I feel like it um reinvents the wheel a bit. It's like similar to what I said about Kesha. It's like it's the old Kesha sound, but it's been elevated to 2024. So I'm here for it. So number 8, Sticky, Tyler the Creator, featuring GloRilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne. Now I will say I do like that song. And I do like Tyler the Creator's new album. And one of the things I like about the song is backed by a full marching band. So one of the things I will say about Tyler Creator, while he doesn't get a lot of love and stuff from the media and all this other stuff, I do like the fact that he's always taking chances and pushing boundaries when it comes with his overall look, his art, and is not afraid to experiment musically. So there's that. So we almost there. Number 7, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Well, I do love her latest album. So there's some good songs in there. It's like, yeah, while we got Lunch, while we got Gas, while we got all these other songs, Birds of a Feather is cute. And I like the fact that she, gets to show like this vulnerable romantic side. So and then I think she's also pushing it when it comes to the vocals on, she's experimenting and trying different things with her voice. Because the people always say, "Oh, she mumbles and she whispers and all that other stuff." Child, she ain't giving you Janet Jackson. She actually do give you range when she sings. So number 6, it said "Not My Fault." Renee Rapp featured Megan Thee Stallion. Well, yeah, that song was around a lot this year. So, um, good for you, niece. Now, number 5. Now, I will agree with this. Even though her album flopped, that song "Nasty" by Tanashi, that was a good song. And did anybody yet match her free? I guess it's only a matter of time before we find out. I don't think anybody has. And I know she's over touring overseas. Now, speaking of Lunch, Billie Eilish's Lunch comes in at number 4. And that definitely is a queer anthem. Because it's like you can use that song for anything. So then number 3, Balloon, Tyler the Creator featuring Doshi. And yeah, that's a song. Man, that's a good song. So what he says, I don't give girls, he said, I don't live, wait, what? I don't like I don't live girls, bitch. I'm way too up hot. Bitch, I'm on my own dick. I don't need your box. That don't sound right. I think they mess up the lyrics. And then Doshi matches by saying, I'm a bit bitch, but I need that pussy now. If he gay, then I'm gay and we are nouns. Okay, chill. Probably sounds better when you hear it on the song. Now, number 2, we have Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. And I'm actually glad that they chose that song rather than Hot to Go, because quiet as it's kept, I'm so sick of hearing Hot to Go. That song may have shuffled like 3 times on my Apple Music. I had to change it one part. I was like, girl, I'm tired of HOTTODO and touch your toes. Like TTODO. It's like if I have to, that song's gonna be like in my head, driving me nuts. So I'm over it. So I'm glad they actually picked Good Luck Baby because I love the song and I like how she does like this really soft, sensual little voice when she's singing it. And number 1 goes to Two Most Wanted, Beyonce featuring Miley Cyrus. Now, out of all the songs on Cowboy Carter, Two Most Wanted is your number 1 choice. So they said 2 of the biggest stars in music teamed up this year to give us one of the most romantic duets of all time. It's country, it's rock, it's beautiful, it's the best song of the year. It's a good song, but I wouldn't go with it's the best song of 2024. But, yeah, if you like it, I love it. But it also said something else when I was reading. They said, for the first time in history, 3 queer artists charged in the top 5 on the Billboard 200 simultaneously. So there's another feat that they hit. And that's why I was using that picture. So they said, "Hit Me Hard and Soul" by Billie Eilish, "Megan" by Megan Thee Stallion, and "The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess." But and then they saw something else in it. It was like best song of 2024 according to Grindr user. Number 5, 360 by Charlie XCX, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande, Espresso, not Espresso, it's Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, and Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan. So here's the thing. I'm actually liking this list more than this tight ass list from out. So I'll say all that to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do you agree with some of the best queer songs of 2024? Because I'm like, there's been some queer artists that put out some bops. Why wasn't Cakes the Killer on there? He released the album this year. He had some bops, but I understand like there's a typical type of base of music they want to gravitate towards. But I'll be curious because I'm definitely going to be keeping my ear to the street of all the other queer blogs that are going to put together their fave songs of 2024 and see if they match mine. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Oh, Jesus, we got a lot of comments. I gotta scroll up. Oh, you said, "I don't care about the bisexuals being quiet about their sexualities. Cheating is when it becomes wrong to me." Well, yeah. And I think that's probably the fear of when people don't want to get with a bisexual because they think, "Oh, you're going to cheat on me with the opposite sex." But I'm like, they could cheat on you with the sex. If they were heterosexual, they could cheat on you with a woman. So why is it like an issue if you were a bisexual that you want to put that stereotype on people? Like I don't agree with that. So where it's like, oh well, you won't get about with a bisexual with that, for that reason. But yes, if cheating would be the deal breaker. I saw some people say they can't see Wicked in theaters due to theaters wanting to do a karaoke party and theater staff aren't doing ish about it. Regular movie theaters taking selfies. Child, I know people not in there taking selfies. That's annoying. It's like, you only get so many people because the movie theaters, people aren't really going as much, so they're not employing a lot of people. They're not at the theaters like they used to, so they probably don't have the staff to be stopping orders. Because I remember like there would be times I go to the movies and I'd be seeing like one usher clean the theater. I'm like, when I worked at AMC, how you think one person's supposed to clean the theater? That's not going to help. You probably send 2 or 3 people. You could send 2 people to a smaller theater, but if you're doing like, I'll use AMC Times Square for an example. If you're doing IMAX or Dolby or one of the bigger theaters, which would be Theater 17, Theater 12, Theater 14, it's funny how I remember all those too, then you need a multitude of people to get in there, clean up, and get out. You said Tower Bird is Renee Rapp's alleged girlfriend. Oh, I had no idea who she was, but thank God somebody was in the comments. So let me know. Is Pedro Pascal openly queer or just assumed to be queer? Um, well, some people would think, well, he's pushing 50. We ain't never seen him with a woman. He does have a trans sister, but that doesn't mean anything because, look, when we talk about celebrities all the time, who was the celebrity oh, the whole family's gay? Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz, she got gay brothers, and then she came out as a lesbian. So you can have a bunch of kids that are queer. But I do feel, based off of what the overall assessment that I get, I do think that Pedro is family. He is not speaking about it. And I don't think he needs to. If he wants to come out of the closet, then when he's ready, he can do it. Or when he finds the one. Bee ba doo bee. Bee da boo bee ba da ba da ba doo ba is a good artist. She's Filipino and makes music that's very reminiscent of the Smashing Pumpkins. Well, maybe I need to check her out. Well, I'm glad some people in the comments know who these artists are. Video with Rain Lene was the one. He said, according to Reddit, Blackpink broke up. I don't know why, but I heard a falling out happened. So, well, look, quiet as it's kept, the way these K-pop people work behind the scenes and they working these girls, I'd rather be a solo artist than in a group. So it's probably a good thing that, they broke up and they all doing their own thing. Well, have fun. So you're going to watch it next week. Tyler, the Creator. Well, yeah, Tyler, the Creator's on the list, but I guess probably because they feel that Tyler, the Creator he said he's gay or he's a part of his family. So I guess that's why they included him on the list. Disease was produced by Circuit. I remember, Ava, he went to the person who molded your career. So was this an Ava Max reject? Probably. Because I feel like maybe Lady Gaga said, well, since you're gonna mold somebody after me, I might as well go to the original person and we could actually make some stuff together. But sis, they could say the same thing about you and Madonna. Billy's YouTube channel uploaded the isolated vocals of her current album, which is a cappella, plus 9 out of the 10 tracks is RIAA certified gold, platinum, or higher. Bittersweet is the only track. The funny thing is, there was one part of her concert that I actually liked. She was like, this is part of the show. And I don't know if they recorded it and posted it online, but she was like, this is one part of the show where I need y'all absolute silence. And she was doing like kind of what Brandy pretty much um ushered into the mainstream. I won't say she invented it because people get ways about stuff, but she did popularize it, which was stacking your vocals. And she was like, I just need everybody to be quiet. And so she would literally just hum into the mic and do different things and they would stack it into the show. And I was like, okay, that's cute. You gotta work, Miss Mama. So yeah, she did that. You said not too much on Janet. Sounds like trust or try and you exist. Oh, because I hit her with that stray. And you said, whoops, thought the list had finished. Tyler made it after all. Duran Bernard. That's another one, too. Thank you for bringing him up. First of all, I don't know if y'all heard Duran Bernard's new album, but bitch, when I tell you I was getting my life, it took every part of my body to not be in the street voguing to them songs. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the album, but yeah, Duran Bernard definitely released a really good, I think it's an EP this year. So, Duran Bernard should have definitely been on this list. But when I look at like the outs and the queer teas and all that and the stuff, y'all not ready for these real black queens and these black talents to get up here and show y'all how it's done. Y'all want to go with the same old, or want to feel like y'all are boundary pushing or edgy when y'all bring up a Doshi or a Tyler the Creator. So not too much on my fave. I saw 2 Hannah Montana CDs and Miley's debut album CD. Oh, well, yeah, at this point, a lot of people be putting their stuff up in the Goodwill, like a Prayer Battle Royale remix. The fucking disrespect. Yeah, they should have put that on there. Taylor Swift to Torture Poets Department to return to number 1 in Billboard 200 for a 16 non-consecutive week with 403K units following. Oh, I know, because trust and believe, Robert was in my DMs with all the Taylor Swift stuff earlier today. You said Nicki needs to issue the Pink Friday 2 Deluxe CD full album. Well, I heard like she's doing a new album. Like, I don't even think she's going to expand on the whole Pink Friday 2. 1 year ago today, Charlie cleared her Instagram profile and began teasing her 6th studio album. Well, she ain't doing that now because she's busy touring. Madonna was Addison Rae's most streamed artist, according to her Spotify rap. And I wouldn't be surprised if Addison Rae's going to be influenced with her next record on that. Pedro was roommates with Child. And we already know Sarah Paulson's a lesbian. Yeah, they best friends. Sarah Paulson is with Holland Taylor, who we talked about. He said he won't be doing beard moves like dating a co-star of The Showman. Not the Hugh Jackman stray. Oh, because I did the Brandy thing. Speaking of full moon, I went to go see Werewolves earlier with Frank Grillo. I actually liked it. There was I felt like it felt a little anticlimactic. I don't like the way it ended, and the end kind of went into 30 Days a Night territory. If y'all know how that third act went, then you know what happens to Frank Grillo. But for the most part, I like seeing Frank Grillo. I'm like, first of all, how old is that man? Because his body was bodying, and he was good in the part. But I wanted a little more them to elaborate more on the werewolf stuff. I need more backstory. I need more like what happened to certain characters. It just kind of like left everything open ended. And I realized maybe they did that. The movie goes by quick. It's like 90 minutes. So, but I feel like maybe they did all that because they want to leave themselves open for a sequel. But I feel like in movies, y'all need to stop always automatically assuming that y'all gonna get a sequel. And first, you gotta hope the first movie does well enough. But and then I was looking at it, I was like, I was surprised because it was in the movies. Because I'm like, this could have went straight to streaming. But at least it got a theatrical release. Hopefully it does well. If it doesn't do well, it was me and 3 other people in the theater when I went to go see it. He said today is also the second to last Eras Tour show. The very last show will be on Sunday, March 18th. March 18th? Oh, you saying that's when it started. March 18th, 2023 to December 8th, 2024. There was a film crew at her show last month. So yeah, we're probably gonna and the one thing I will say is that when the difference is because I know some people are like, well, why is she still touring when the Eras tour is out? Because if y'all was paying attention, you would know that every time that Taylor Swift stopped touring and then went back on tour, she changed up the tour. So it's not the same tour that you're getting that's already playing on Disney Plus. Is it? And look, what's the name can move on. I'm sure what the hell's his name? Damian Leone is ready to move on from Art the Clown. He doesn't want that to be his forever thing. But I guess if they want to keep reviving it, because the studio probably owns the IP, then if y'all want to run it into the ground, then go ahead. But we'll see if David Howard Thornton wants to keep coming back and doing it. But it's not going to be the same if Damian Leone is a part of it because that's his baby. And he knows the characters better than anyone. But I understand this is a movie business, but I really hope that they just leave it at 4 and then y'all allow Damien to move on and come up with something else. And then also, the one that played the lead final girl, I think she's about to star in a horror movie. Killjoy Jake posted something or another about that on his show earlier. So he was talking about how Sienna, the actress that played her, she's about to star in another movie or something. Dogchild said Brandy would get tired of stacking a bunch of vocals, but was more accepting after being told Michael stacked. Okay? So it's like once you start bringing up an old school reference that we all kind of look up to and admire my generation, we look up to Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney, all of those people. When you start mentioning those, well, Michael did it. Oh, okay. Well, if Michael did it, then I'm gonna keep doing it. I kind of wish that Brandy would get back with Dogchild, but that ain't happening. Because I feel like with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Janet Jackson, when Brandy got with um Dogchild, that was like they were like the best when they collaborated. We got so much great music from her, like Full Moon, bitch. When I tell you when I came out the gym and a Full Moon track actually came on, um damn, I can't remember the name of I can't remember the title of the song. Uh, Baby, I thought that's what the name of the damn song is. I had to sing it for me to remember. I thought when that song came out, I was like, bitch, that is my song. But I love that record. I even like the album that she did that was produced by Timbaland. Um, Aphrodisiac. I was like, what was the name of that song? First of all, I live for Brandy. Brandy could do no wrong in my eyes. And he said Taylor probably filmed it because the tour added a new album and included that in the show. I hope it's a physical version. Addison Rae's VMA outfit was like an updated Madonna with the bullet bra titty architecture. I love how I got y'all saying Madonna up in here. David said he wants to do a Killer Santa film or a Killer Pope to pick. Child, can you imagine that? Well, you already did a Killer Santa. But that was Terrifier 3. But if he can come out with another thing, then that's great. I want to see shit. I'm probably gonna have to rent Silent Night, Deadly Night because now I'm in the mood to watch that. You said the fallout because the Human album bomb. Nobody wanted ballads. I get Brandy can sing, but we need up tempos. Yeah, the one thing I always said about Brandy is like, yeah, we love when we know she can sing. Like she can sing the house down. But for the most part, people want those, sitting up in my room and a lot of those tracks. Like, yeah, we want a beat behind Brandy. And You could throw a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 ballads up in there, but for the most part, I always gravitated towards the beats. And I think it was because when she worked with Dark Child was very experimental with a lot of his sound, and it was working with Brandy. You said Brandy, Dark Child, Mace Kid, Harlem on the rise. Yeah, I do like when they collaborated. Anyway. Well, it looks like we're at the end of the show. I want to thank you all for watching today's episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If you have not already, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash that notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'm going to try to be on Monday. I'm not going to be on this weekend. He says some lyrics just seared into my brain. It happens. But yeah, if you haven't already, hit that like button, that subscribe button. Also smash the notification button, like I said earlier, so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Filtered. I will be putting timestamps in the episode, so that way if you want to fast forward a certain part, those who want to watch after the fact of some of the topics and stuff that we hit on today, you could definitely do that. So as I said, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all of you that commented in the chat and all that good stuff. So yeah, until next time, thank you all for watching and ciao, darlings.